Good morning, everyone. Give me just a second. I'm going to make a cup of coffee and get my camera reset here, and we should be good to go. So I'm going to mute myself, and we will get started here in just a second. Once again, everybody, welcome in. I'm going to quickly make myself a cup of coffee, and we were going to hop right into this. I'll be right back. All right, everybody, welcome to someone I know didn't get the Zoom details. Oh, no. Okay, so here's what we can do. If somebody did not get the Zoom details, you can share with them the following information. That is the call-in Zoom link for a computer. If you need a phone option, please don't hesitate to let me know. Okay, let me make sure we're recording because that's hugely important. Looks like we are. Great. So today is going to be fast, very, very fast. And please, everybody, just confirm that you can kind of hear me in chat. I want to make sure that there's no questions there regarding my audio. Just a couple yeses. You got my yeah, working fine. Great. Okay, that's all I needed. Thank you all. Okay, perfect. So welcome to what I'm going to call Streaming 101. This is going to be a hot and fast look at the world of streaming from both the perspective of people that have zero idea to those who may have some idea about it, or maybe you've watched a live stream before, but you've not necessarily ever done it yourself. Will you have a perfect money-making Twitch stream by the end of today? Probably not. But what you're going to have is a better idea of how to set up your own stream. one of the things that I tell people is that live streaming is about what content you want to bring to the table. And sometimes certain platforms are right for that, and sometimes other platforms are right for other offerings. Everybody's doing something a little different. So please know that that's the first thing I want to say, for sure. Great. Today's session will also be made available on my YouTube when this is all said and done, a little bit more edited version. And then if I have some things I want to go back in and clip in, I can do that at a later date. But I do want to thank you all for being here. There was kind of an outpouring and a cry from so much of the arts community after we began the quarantine, and I wanted to make sure that people had the resources and the opportunities they needed to continue to make money and make art and not distance themselves from those things. So that's how we got to where we are. If you don't know me, my name is Chelsea. Some people also call me Dot. That's part of my handle and my moniker online. You can call me either. Today, throughout the session, I will stop for Q&As, and you can drop any questions like ongoing inside of chat. For my sanity and my sake, when you drop a question in chat, please put in big bold letters before question as such, and then your question afterwards. That way, as I'm scrolling through, I can find them very quickly. Because I encourage all of you to continue to chatter and chat inside of the Zoom group chat if you're interested. So what I want to do to start all of this is just talk about what's available. We can talk technology all day, but if you don't know what's actually available to you in terms of live streaming platforms, then you're at a disadvantage. So we've all watched a live stream, whether it was on somebody's Facebook Live or their Insta Live, or maybe you are a Twitch consumer and you watch your favorite video game streams or possibly your favorite tabletop streams live from Twitch. But even YouTube now has a live streaming option where you can live stream your videos straight to YouTube, very similar to Twitch, and they will archive those videos right away, direct to your YouTube channel. So let's start with the bare minimum, which is Facebook, Instagram, and Periscope. For those of you that are big time Twitter users, or you feel like your audience is on Twitter. I know for a fact that my audience is on Twitter for my streaming channel. So I do a lot on Twitter. Twitter is not right for everybody, especially when it comes to live entertainment. But like I said, it just so happens to be where my channel interest lies. So Facebook, Instagram, and Periscope all have what we call direct live stream options, meaning I pick up my cell phone, I turn it on, I go to the app, the single app that I am interested in live streaming to. I hit the go button, I turn the camera around, and I talk right into it. We have all done this. We've done it for our Snapchats. We've done it for videos. If you have a TikTok, you've done it for that. That is how pretty much bare minimum that works. The good news is your cell phones and your laptops, most laptops at home that you already own, are going to have at bare minimum a camera and a microphone, which means that you already have the bare minimum of technology needed to make this happen. It's going to be one piece of technology that we talk about later that I'm going to actually show you the back end of, called Restream, 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 that allows you to stream across all of those platforms simultaneously at one time from a single dashboard, the same camera, and you hit go, and it streams to all of them, which may be something that some of you would like, to consider. When we look at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter as live streaming options, the benefits of those platforms is that everybody uses them. They are the baseline social media that everybody's on. And in a time like this, everybody's on their social media more. So you have what is basically lowest hanging fruit, the largest audience there. But it's also the hardest to monetize. We don't go to Facebook. We don't go to Instagram or Periscope or Twitter to pay for our content. We go to consume it for free. So as somebody that is currently monetizing live stream content, I would say that is the big con to streaming just to social media. It's a lot harder to monetize it, meaning it's harder to get people just to give you a donation. There's no built-in platform inside of Facebook for taking money, unless you're doing their fundraising platform, which I do not suggest. Or you're sending them directly to a PayPal link, right? And then it's taking them from your live stream to another website to donate. Technically, the Twitch channel that we launched yesterday for Dad's Garage, the theater that I work for, is doing that. We're having to send people to an outside link because we're not in a place to take internal donations yet through Twitch. So starting is the most important thing. So know that. And if you simply start by putting your content out on Facebook or on Instagram, that's a start. Not putting content out is what's going to keep you from being able to move forward and really making any money at all. So some content is better than no content, I guess you could say. So yeah, in regards to your platform, those are 5 big ones, right? Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Vimeo, and what's the other one? Vimeo and YouTube. YouTube, that's the 6 of them. And Vimeo and YouTube being relatively the same. So I encourage you to really think about what's right for you. If you're going to be doing video game play, per se, like you're going to start streaming video games, you can't do that to Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. So you're going to have to step it up a notch and go to something like YouTube or Twitch. If you are simply interested in getting your art out there and you just want to, or you want to start a basic show where you're just talking to the audience, there's nothing stopping you from going to social media. But you will need to be smart about how you incentivize that, because again, social media content is considered to be, is well known to be consumed for free. That's that. Now let's dive into, because everybody knows Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We know those. We know those platforms, their lowest barrier to entry. What everybody doesn't know as much about are going to be YouTube and Twitch. Twitch is a hot topic right now. For those of you that have never seen a Twitch stream, go to twitch.tv. I can sit here and give you an encyclopedic definition of what Twitch is, but you don't really understand it till you see it for yourself. Twitch started out as a live streaming platform for esports and video game play. That's where it started all those many years ago. Now, Twitch has channels and content on everything from live tabletop RPGs to cooking shows to just talking, like banter and chatter morning shows, to now theaters that are kicking up ways of putting their content out and broadcasted live. I personally, my own Twitch channel is a storytelling channel. So anything that I do, though it's what I call variety streaming, meaning I may play a video game some days, I may do a tabletop game or play some Dungeons and Dragons, but everything that I do is about collaborative storytelling. So that's where I come from. That's my personal niche. As of yesterday, I'm running the Dad's Garage Twitch channel, which is just what it sounds like. It's Dad's Garage in Twitch form. So improv and comedy at its finest. But if you're going to launch a Twitch channel, you're looking at a much bigger undertaking. The same is technically true for YouTube. Here's the reason why. Where I can pick up my cell phone and go straight to Facebook and hit go and live stream. Twitch and YouTube are not set up that way. Just because you have a Twitch account does not mean you are set up to stream to Twitch. It simply means you have a Twitch account. Because Twitch and YouTube are hosted on basically their own servers. They are kind of a separate website. You have to have software that picks up your camera, your audio, and whatever overlay and screen that you want to broadcast it to Twitch. So you need extra stuff basically, to be able to go to Twitch and to YouTube, because they don't have a direct live go button. YouTube might now, but again, I don't use YouTube for live streaming. I use it for archiving videos. And so there's that. If you're interested in Twitch, when I started mine, I still didn't start with anything but a camera and a crappy microphone for the entirety of it. It started as a cosplay channel for me, and where I built cosplay live, and eventually evolved over time. But I literally started with nothing but it was a camera on me, very similar to this. It was a little farther back. I had my workshop table in the shot, and I had a single microphone. You can get started with bare minimum technology on Twitch. Laptop web camera. Maybe you've got a set of headphones that have a mic, or maybe your laptop is built in with a mic. If you have a desktop, please don't use your webcam microphone. If you're going to have to go buy a webcam, you might as well buy a very cheap $20 mic. And again, I'm going to talk about technology and show you all what I use. I think my microphone cost me about $35 total. My webcam cost me a little bit more than that, but not my starting one. My starting one was still like a $30 mic, or a $30 cam. So you need to, as a content creator, figure out where you stand. Are you in a place to really own live streaming on a platform like Twitch or YouTube? Or do you need to look at broadcasting yourself across social media as a starting point? That is not something that I can tell you. That is entirely on you, and whatever your content is. But know your competition. Like I said, go check out Twitch. Just go scour it, search it. Go like figure out what everybody else is doing, so that you have a better understanding of where you fit in all of that, because you are going to be competing for people's eyeballs and their viewing time, just like any other art form. Okay, that's the top and bottom of the 5 platforms that like will get referenced multiple times today as we go through. The first thing that we're going to do is talk about monetizing and platforms for monetizing across all 5 of them. And I will give you some tips and hints of ways that I have done it. At this point, I'm making about 1/3 of my income on streaming. I stream about half the week, 4 to 5 nights a week. And I make a good portion of my income doing it, but it has required me to really dedicate the time and to look at multiple monetization options. It's not just one. I have a lot out there. So I'm going to talk about a couple ways for you to be able to do that, because I believe that live streaming is great and getting your content out there is great, but it's even greater if you can make a dollar doing it, especially for those of you that are about to see a major hit to your income. So as I stated, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter don't have a built-in monetization option, meaning if I go to watch you live on Facebook Live, when I go to watch you live, there's no way for me while I'm in chat to donate money right there. I have to leave and go somewhere else. So every step that is put between your audience and getting you money is one more chance that they're just not going to give it to you. So you need to make it as quick and easy as possible if you're going to stick with the social media option. Make it clear at the top of your stream that you are raising money, that there's a way to support you. If you're a visual artist, oh, that's true. You can send, you know what? That's true, Christy. You can send money inside of Facebook Messenger. I don't know how much of your audience would be set up to send money through Facebook Messenger. I personally don't use Facebook Messenger for monetary exchanges, but then again, I personally am set up differently. That might actually be a great option for you. Is to send people and say, hey, you can message me directly the money. You need to feed your audience what you need them to do at the top, middle, and end of your stream, bare minimum. 3 times in your stream, you need to mention that you are raising funds and how they can support you. For somebody like, say, my mother, who would be terribly uncomfortable sending money through Facebook Messenger, you may want to look at some additional options. When I first started, I used a platform called Ko-Fi, Ko-Fi, Ko-Fi. Ko-Fi is a wonderful platform. Started to support freelance artists, businesses. It's a money-raising platform that's based on coffee. That's at least where it started. Now people raise on Ko-Fi for all kinds of things. I keep it, I loved the coffee idea. I drink a slew of it. Speaking of, let me just sip this. Okay, so I drink a ton of coffee. And when I first started my channel and I was streaming all the time, wasn't drinking Red Bull or looking for Monster sponsorship. I was just drinking coffee. And I had one of my audience members say, hey, how can I buy you that cup of coffee? And Ko-Fi kind of came into being for me. Ko-Fi allows people to donate $3 at a time. Right there in the chat, Ko-Fi. Ko-Fi, I believe. Ko-Fi allows people to donate $3 at a time. In increments of 3, so 3, 6, 9, and I think you can set that to be like 5, 10, 15 if you wanted. So what I did to monetize my stream to start, I realized that people really like shout outs online. So instead of asking people to donate during my live streams, which was when I first started, was not having any success at all, what I decided to do instead was I went out and I bought a chalkboard coffee mug and a chalkboard marker. And every time somebody bought me a cup of coffee, and every time I sat down to drink one, I would write a message and their name on my chalkboard coffee mug. And then that's the coffee I drank live on stream. So that every time I drank from it, their name showed up or their handle showed up on stream because it was on my coffee mug. And I would take pictures with it and I would thank them individually. But there was something about them being connected to helping me out by buying just a $3 cup of coffee. And let's be real, this cup of coffee did not cost me $3. It probably cost me maybe 50 cents or less to actually make here in my home, which means I netted the other $2.50 of that. And it got to a point where every time I would post a photo, a selfie of myself with this coffee, a person's name written on it, I would get another 5 donations, which means it got to a point I could not drink enough coffee to thank everyone for how much I was receiving. So when I say think about ways to incentivize your audience, there are ways of doing that that are low impact on you and that can really connect with your audience in a way. I use the Ko-Fi example because it was very successful for me and is eventually what allowed me to launch my Patreon so that I could get more, bigger, deeper funding from people. So Ko-Fi is one of those start out platforms that I highly suggest. If you're going to go to Facebook every day for the next quarantined X amount of weeks, yeah, and just stream your business to the world, tell them, hey, I'm going to sit here on this stream and drink a cup of coffee. Want to pay for this cup of coffee? Go donate $3 to my Ko-Fi and I'll sing you a song or I'll give you a shout out online. We're a Kickstarter nation. And so sometimes it's embedded in us to believe that when people give us money, they need to receive something tangible, a swag bag, a t-shirt, a thing. That's not true. And especially in this time right now, we need to be incentivizing people not around physical items, unless that's what you're actually making, say like a piece of art on canvas, but around the concept of supporting the artist and the process along the way. So check out Ko-Fi. It would be one massive suggestion that I have for you. In addition to that, I would say you could look into just a PayPal.me, right? PayPal.me is a great platform that many of you may already have. It's actually where Dad's Garage is sending people right now. We're just sending people to a PayPal.me. Make sure your PayPal.me is up to date. You can go change the information on your PayPal.me daily. Like the bio information, talk about when people hit that page, don't let it be outdated information and don't let it be impersonal information. If this is the landing page that they're going to give you money, make sure that you're talking about what you're doing. I think you're still limited to a certain amount of characters, but be genuine. because it can be a very helpful platform as well, paypal.me. Now, please don't forget, regardless of what platform you use, there are going to be fees involved. When other people handle your money, they're going to charge you for fees. So there is no way to get around that. PayPal's going to charge you a fee. Ko-Fi is going to charge you a fee. I want to think Ko-Fi might actually put the fee on the buyer, or the consumer, the giver. I would have to double check that, but just be aware fees are going to happen even when you transfer things from your Ko-Fi to your PayPal and PayPal to bank account. So please keep that in mind. That's just good fiscal responsibility for yourself. Don't get locked down under, or don't forget about the fees that may change where you think or what your total value of income is. So PayPal.me and Ko-Fi.com are two very low barrier to entry. Easy peasy. For those of you out there that are looking at doing, say, live shows, well, when I say live shows, like live theater shows, I know I've got some theater people in here, and there's been a lot of talk of like, oh, I want to mount a production of, or in my garage, I'm going to live stream, a bare knuckles version of Annie Get Your Gun. Okay, some things to remember. You cannot stream other people's content. It's technically illegal. That intellectual property does not belong to you. This is the problem that a lot of theaters right now are dealing with, and Actors Equity and publishing houses are trying to figure out how to deal with the rights to theatrical plays online. Because unless a theater's set up to put that behind a paywall, meaning that you have to pay to actually view it, there's no money being made, and so much of royalties are based off theater royalties are based off of the expected income off of the show. So there's a lot right now that's still up in the air regarding that. My encouragement to you is to look at this chaos as a point of opportunity and to start making your own content. Start writing your own things. Find friends who have musicals that need to be seen for the first time, that aren't that you don't have to pay for royalties for. Or read a play that's out of copyright. You got a lot of classics that can be done. So just keep that in mind. When you end up on platforms like Twitch, they're very strict about it. Facebook goes back and forth. They may mute your video after it goes up, weeks after it's gone up, and they may ping it for copyright infringement, but Twitter will shut you down live if you do not follow their community guidelines, which include intellectual property. Oh, that's great. Okay, cool. So I'll get to that there in a second. Thanks for that information about several publishing houses. So on Twitch, read their community guidelines, because if you don't, you may get yourself in trouble. Things like impersonations are not allowed. And I don't mean like, oh, I talked to like Keanu Reeves. Everyone, just remember, when you're chatting, you don't have to chat privately to me. You can chat to everyone. It will help me out in relaying information. So on Twitch, their community guidelines say no impersonations. Like, I can't sit here as, say, I can't sit in a Keanu Reeves costume and live play a game and pretend I'm Keanu Reeves. I can't do it. I can't even play, say, a Mario game live on Twitch and sit and pretend to be Mario playing Mario, because I don't own the rights to the character Mario. I've been given the rights to play that game live on Twitch, but I have not been given the rights to, say, sit here and be Mario, because that is Nintendo's IP. Keep those things in mind. No nudity, right? And Twitch has been well known for coming into streams where people were dressed even scantily clad and shutting them down. No illegal activity. No smoking streams online, unless you live in a state in which it is legalized. No harming of yourself or other people. You can't do what I call jackass streams, meaning you can't be like, look, Ma, what I can do, and then jump from the roof of a house. They'll shut you down in a heartbeat, because they don't want people harming themselves. But they've even had streams shut down where, like, they don't allow what we call drinking streams anymore. You can have a beer on Twitch as long as you're of legal age. No big deal. But they don't want you doing incentivized drinking, meaning donate every $10 donated, I take a shot. And then before you know it, you have $1,000 donated and somebody that's drank themselves to death live on stream. So it is important that you look at these things and that you take them into consideration. For Facebook, Twitter, and I'll tell you this, Twitter, if you live stream to Twitter and you use music that does not belong to you, Twitter will just close your account out. They are not playing with that stuff anymore. I had a friend who was a hoop artist, and she would use music and do like 30-second videos, and they shut her entire account down. So just something to really think about. It's good to know that several publishing houses are looking at approving streaming for theaters, but I think it looks like there's a possibility it's only for professional theaters. So if you're doing this as an individual, what does that mean for you in that? Do you need to be looking at some additional options, or just getting together with the right people and streaming your content, your original content, basically? Great. So those are two means of monetization. I got off on a little tangent there just about IP. Two means of monetization, Ko-Fi and PayPal.me. But there are some others. There is always the Kickstarter model. You can say, look, my friends and I want to do a series of something. Maybe it's a live web series every Monday for the next 8 weeks. Okay? But that web series needs to be funded. You could easily, instead of asking for people to donate live, they could donate in advance. So set up the Kickstarter and say, you know, what you're basically getting versus a bunch of, again, tangible items is the opportunity for this group of artists to create original content live, like an improvised web series every Monday that you can tune into, and figure out what that might cost you. Maybe it's only $500, or maybe it's a heck of a lot less than that if everybody's doing it from the comfort of their home. But a Kickstarter would be one way. And I could go off on 1,000 tangents regarding Kickstarter as a fundraising platform. But the fact of the matter is that might also be the right answer for you. And then the last one that I really, really, really want to talk about, I want to make sure let me double check my notes before I pop in here. Let me make sure. I did write notes, gang. I want to make sure I covered everything. Yes. Okay. The next platform where you can raise money would be Patreon. Patreon is a much bigger cookie. Again, requires an extreme amount of organization for launch and maintenance over time. It's not something you just like set up like your Ko-Fi and then boop, it's there. I might set like a monthly goal on Ko-Fi. Patreon requires almost every other day to weekly contact with your Patreon supporters. Patreon is a monthly support platform where you just kind of like Kickstarter, you set up tiers, and those tiers, people buy into those tiers on a monthly basis. So every month I give you $10, but that also means every month I get something for those $10. If you're a visual artist, I've seen visual artists have great success with this. Especially because they do, you know, you'll do a doodle here or some smaller sized artwork there. You may have an archive and a stock of old things that you need to get rid of. So I've had a lot of artist friends launch them and say, hey, you come in at $25 a month, and every month I mail you a 3x3 print of something. And so you start building an audience of collectors of your art, as well as just general dollar supporters. I have had extreme luck with Patreon. It has helped me personally. I went from Ko-Fi to Patreon. I make, on average, about $200 or $300 a month extra, but it is part of what builds up my community of people that watch my content. And I use my Patreon as a way to get more time with me. So you can pay a very high dollar amount and get, you know, private one-on-one chat sessions, or at a very high dollar amount, I'll run a private game D&D game for you and your friends on a monthly basis. Those seem to be where I have found most success with Patreon, is in the high dollar tiers. But I do have a lot, my mass number of people are in my lower tiers at, say, $2 a month and $5 a month, where they're gaining access to my Discord chat, where they're able to gain first access to content. So before it goes up on YouTube to the general public, they get it first. And then they gain, special access to like all kinds of emojis and free digital content. And sometimes I'll make special announcements for them. So when you're looking at monetizing, think about your time. Running a private D&D game for 5 people takes a lot of prep time. 3 hours of prep, 3 hours of actual gameplay, so 6 hours total. I need to make that worth my time. That's why it's a high dollar amount. It's what everybody wants, but I need them to pay for it. On the other hand, my $2 a month people, $2 is great. But it's not enough per one person for me to do that kind of deep dive directly into them. $2 and $5 is all about just supporting the channel and making sure that it keeps going. Sometimes I'll do things like even give them just audio of the live stream, because a lot of people like podcasts. Or like to listen to audio while they're at work or on their commute. So one of the things I started doing is my podcast, which is really nothing but ripped audio from my video, my live video, goes up, and it's just for Patreon supporters. And I've had a lot of luck with that as well at very low tier, because that's little to no work on me. Question: with Discord also allowing built-in streaming, what are your thoughts of trying to use that? Discord does have some built-in streaming. I have a very large Discord community that I manage of, I think right now we're at about 300 people or so. And it continually grows every time I go live. If you don't know what Discord is, it is a niche. I'm going to say this now. It is niche. For those of you that are not really into the gaming world and are not looking to build a community of people, Discord may not be the right option for you. Discord requires a lot of management. Because you've got people chatting all the time. Discord is kind of like old school AOL chat rooms is the best way, or those old like bulletin board chat rooms of the early 2000s, for all of you that are that know what I'm talking about. And what it allows you to do is to organize chatter amongst people of shared interest. So for example, my Discord is organized into kind of 3 major sections. A place for my private Patreon supporters to get first time information, so they get a private place. My general audience to be able to chat about their deep interest of tabletop gaming, of storytelling, of character building, those kinds of things. And then I have what I call my general nerdisms, right? Most everybody in my Discord is a super nerd, so there's like a place to talk about conventions, there's a place to talk about cosplay, there's a place to talk about all the shows that we're binging and video games. I even have a channel called Womansplaining that's just for ladies to complain about the world. I think I have one where people I have one where I think people can post pictures of their fur babies. I have one called Screaming into the Void, which is a place you can come to just complain. So recognize that Discord requires maintenance. It is something that you have to maintain ongoing every day, unless you are only going to use it to collect people into a room to do a video stream. My biggest thing I will tell you, Discord's audio and video quality is not up to par, in my opinion. My live streaming uses this program, Zoom, for everything. And so just know that that's what I'll say about that. To me, it is not the quality audio that I audio and video that I usually seek. I always have issues with it. So just know if you're going to live stream to there, maybe if it's just one video, it's not a big deal. But yeah. Yeah. Oh, so see, okay, that's good to know. $10 a month to stream HD on Discord. So that's probably it. They're stifling what you can do for free. So that may be why the quality is not quite as good. It is a fantastic customizable platform. So I wasn't really going to go into Discord today. I might actually, when I share my screen here in just a second with all of you, I can show you what my Discord looks like. Don't be overwhelmed. Every time somebody sees all the Discords I'm a part of, they're like, that's too much for me. And that's okay. That's also part of this. Where do you fit in all of this? Okay. So we've talked about kind of 5 platforms, and we'll say 5.5 if we include Discord. We have talked about some ways of monetization, including Ko-Fi, PayPal, having a link for that, Facebook Messenger as an option, a direct option, Patreon, and then of course the like crowdfunding method of, say, Kickstarter or whatever. Those are ways that you can start getting money right away. You need to be asking for money. I highly encourage it. It is difficult. I could start a whole other class on how to do fundraising pitches and to get people to actually to pitch your ideas to them and to get people to give you money. But that's a story for a whole different day. Today, what I'm trying to tell you is make sure you are asking for money. And make sure that you are very clear what you're doing with that money. Is it going directly into your pocket, or is it actually just continuing to fund your content? I also want to say the program we're using right now, Zoom, might be a consideration for some of you. It has, you do have to pay $15 a month to say do what we're doing now. But for those of you that want to host private things, you could set up a paywall, say through PayPal. Pay me $5, you get a link to Zoom, and you can tune in and see a live broadcast. What I'm doing right now for all of you is a live broadcast in its purest form. So you could also do private Zoom conferences as a way for people to all come together to share a chat and then to like watch something live. That's actually something I haven't really considered. It's kind of exactly what we're doing for this webinar. And the cool thing is Zoom allows you to record exactly what you're currently watching. So yeah. All right, so there we are. We've covered platforms, we've covered some general monetization. But how does all of this come together with technology and the actual practical application of this? So this is where things are going to get fun, because we're actually going to take a look at my desktop. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen with all of you. I say that, share. I've got 2 screens. Okay, let me do this. I don't want you guys to see me exit full screen. Okay. I'm going to drag this over. Okay. And then I can pop on my desktop for all of you. Okay. All right. I'm going to share my screen. It's currently on Photoshop. All right. You should all be seeing my desktop. Chat, help me out and just like give me the go that you are actually seeing it. Right. Chat says we're good. We're good. Great. I'm getting some messages on Facebook. I'll have to deal with those later. Okay. So let's take a look at some things, some software. Okay. Welcome to my chaotic desktop. So let's say even to Facebook, you want to take a second to make your stuff look better than say simply, just you holding a camera. I'm also going to tell you, if you want to step up your game, get a tripod. Get the camera out of your hands. There is nothing, a real professional stream that people are going to start believing in is not going to be something that you hold in your hands. So get yourself some kind, put it on books, stabilize it in some way, and turn your camera landscape. It's amazing the difference between going like portrait and talking, and the moment you flip it and you go live this way, it makes it feel like a more professional level live stream. I just genuinely believe that. So something to consider, horizontal versus vertical. Okay. So I've booted up cool. There we go. Boop. Okay. So I've booted up what I call Restream. Okay, restream.io, and I will drop that into chat as well. Restream.io. Restream is this is the platform that I would use to say broadcast across multiple platforms. So for example, I can make sure my webcam is hooked up, right? Right now, let's see, it's probably not going to access my camera because I'm feeding it all to you, right? So it's saying something went wrong because we're not getting your camera. It's because all of you are getting my camera. But that's okay. So your camera would pop up here in this box, like you would see me just as all of you were just seeing me, okay? And then you connect your platforms directly to it. Like I can come here and add a channel. Look at all of the channels that I could go live to. For all you teachers out there, they have a live education in break as well. For those of you that use Steam, Steam feeds right in as well. So this is the backside of the Dad's Garage restream. This is a paid platform. The more fancy tech you get, be prepared to have to start paying for some things, such as needing to pay for, you know, Zoom to be able to host 100 people at a time. And for more than 45 minutes without it shutting the chat down. So there may be some investment that you have to do. That's where I encourage you to really think about how long you're going to be doing this. Is this a short-term thing for you? Is this a long-term thing for you? And in terms of how much money you have to invest upfront for things. My camera, like I said, the one I'm using now cost me about $65. The one I originally started with only cost me about $35. And the microphone that I use, and I can send you a direct link on Amazon, I think right now is about $35 on Amazon. And it's a great mic. It's an Omni mic. If you watched yesterday, the live stream of Dad's Garage yesterday, it was the single mic that I had on the table picking up all three people. And it did a beautiful job. It's also a great mic if you are a musician and you simply just want to sit here and like play an acoustic guitar and not have to feed it through a soundboard. That mic, I'll have to drop the stats in. It's called a CAD mic. It is a condenser, but it's a great mic. Great, perfect. People are with us. Okay, so Restream. Camera feeds in here, microphone gets plugged in. Mine's just a USB mic. You plug all your stuff in, it will show you a live feed of what all that looks like here, and then you literally hit go live. And it will stream to Periscope, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch all at the same time. Now, the one thing that I will tell you that I want to be honest and tell you about is that you're going to want people in you're going to want to be managing all of these chats. That's the hard part, because now you're going to need to check out Facebook and YouTube and Twitch all at one time and have multiple screens open, because the last thing you need are trolls in your chat, and they will be there. Trolls, they will come out from under their bridge, pop into your chat, and bring negativity at its finest. So please know moderation is important. You need somebody that's moderating. If it's not you, it needs to be somebody else, and they need to have the right to ban people. Just know that up front. Take it from a female gamer girl. There's nothing worse in the world than being harassed live on stream. Cool. We're doing great on time. So the cool thing that Restream also allows you to do is to add very minimal, and when I say minimal, I mean like minimal additional stuff. I wonder if I turn my camera off in Zoom, if I can feed my camera to it so I can show this to all of you. I'm going to stop my personal video. But I'm not, you should all still be able to see my screen. So maybe I can boot my camera up. Let's see. Accessing your camera. Ha, there we go. Okay, perfect. So now you can see this box right here is what everybody is going to see. The cool thing is it allows you to do some extra uploading. Like let's say you have a sponsor. You know, I'm sponsored by a few dice companies and gaming companies. Their logo placement is something that they can pay for. Do you consider that as a monetization option? Not just individual people, but the opportunity to actually get some real sponsorship. Is there a product that you use? Is there a coffee label that you were always drinking? All right. Think about sponsorship as a potential option, even as an individual. Is there, I have a good friend, Dan Flores. Many of you may know him. He gets great sponsorship from people like Microsoft and Adobe because he uses their products on his live streams and shows people how he makes his art in process doing it. Pretty cool. So putting their logo on the screen is like really easy to do. So right here on the screen, I'm going to upload a logo. Okay, I'm going to upload my personal one, because maybe you have a personal logo or brand that you need to deal with. Dropbox. I gotta find it all, gang. That moment where you're like, where do I put my files? I don't know. Here we go. Find what I'm looking for in here. So I've got a square PNG here. Perfect. This is work. All right. So here's my logo. Show it. Okay. I didn't like my PNG, did it? Maybe it's not a PNG. Let me do that. I can do that better. Let's see if that one will do. That one will do. So boop, that easy. So what I did was I uploaded the file here by uploading it. This is a PNG file with a transparent background. And all I did was upload it right here to the logo spot and hit show. Now I have a direct overlay. It's there. That logo is just there. When I go live, everybody will see it. This is also a way to say, you know, add a little message. You could put just in the top corner, like go make a picture file using something easy like Canva or Photoshop, and maybe it just says the name of your show for today, because maybe Mondays are one show and Tuesdays a different show. Yeah. Then you can also do what's known as an overlay. This is where we start to get kind of technical, and it's nice because Restream is like real low barrier to entry. After our break, we're going to dive into a program called OBS, which is a much deeper program. And for all of you people that want to be doing video game streamings, for all of you that want to be doing much deeper high-tech production, that's where we're going to dive into that end of things, and talk about balancing sound, good lighting, that kind of stuff. So logo, easy peasy. But let's say I want an overlay. I want an overlay because this is going to be, I don't know, my first big stream. So I can show you, this is what their overlay currently looks like. The one that comes like preloaded in here. It's got a box around it, adds a little bit of this like live bit here at the top. But let's say I want to do my own thing. I have a ton of these overlays pre-prepped because I use them for something else. So this is a design piece, right? Maybe it's the perfect time to reach out to a designer and ask a designer to create these assets for you. Find a friend. We all have an artist friend somewhere. So I'm going to upload, I've made a bunch of stuff for Dad's Garage. So we're just going to use Dad's Garage as our guinea pig because I have, in my brain hole, I have all of this going on right now. Okay. So here we go. I've uploaded a new overlay. I'm going to hit show. There it goes. All it did was add this like paper cut thing around it. Now, what if I add a text banner? Okay, cool. I want to type a text banner. I'm going to say, make sure to donate at www.fundme.please. Right? Now I can say add this banner. Where did it go? Add the banner. Oh, I gotta show it, right? So I can hit show. Boop. All it did was pop it up right there on stream, right? Hide it. Show it. So what's really cool is that Restream is, like I said, low barrier to entry. I uploaded a logo. I uploaded an overlay of my choosing. And then I simply went to text banners and added a text banner. I can hide this when I'm not ready to use it. Maybe I want to do my social media. Follow me on whatever. You could prep a bunch of these too, so that while you're live, you could simply just cycle through them. Like maybe for the top of the show, this is what shows. But then when you're done with that, maybe you're doing a trivia game. Maybe it's a trivia night online and everybody's tuning into your trivia. Yeah. You could put your trivia questions, like question 1, how to streams. Right? And then add that banner and now it shows up. Now the prompt question's on the string for you. This is a great opportunity for you to be creative and how you decipher information, especially when you start to get into this overlay process. For those of you that want to be accessible, think about things like caption overlay. There are a lot of sites that you can go to, and I'll make sure I'm gonna make a list of a bunch of these links for all of you. I'm gonna add this one to it. If you want to have closed captioning on the screen, there's a wonderful site that you can open up that basically brings a box up, and you can feed that box to your screen, and I can show you how to do that later. If you want to have closed captioning directly on the screen as I'm talking, it's typing captioning directly on the screen. More important than ever now, I would think. So again, this is Restream. It is so easy. You do have to pay for it. I believe it starts, let's take a look actually. I can probably take a look at their packages with you all here. Great, great, great. Boop, boop. Yeah. Well, I say that. Maybe I can just go to their website proper without going into the dashboard. Probably not. No. Yeah, there will be, it's fine. I'll have to take a look at it. But basically, you can go to their website and take and look at their here we go, upgrade. That's what I was looking for. So these are their plans, right? $19 a month gives you a single destination. So even if you're only going to be streaming to, say, Facebook, but you really want to still have all the snazzy things that come integrated with like what they have, what you just saw, that might be enough. If you're wanting to go out to 3 destinations, it's $50. And then if you want to do 10 destinations or more, you're going to be looking at this kind of company-based plan. For those of you that want to get rid of the Restream branding and those kind of things, this is really the plan you're going to want to consider. Okay. Remember, a lot of things, if you can purchase them on the yearly, will deduct. You'll have to pay all of it up front, but it will be a cheaper long-term for you if this is going to be something you continue doing. All right. I saw a question pop up in chat. So I want to make sure, or I saw something pop in the chat. I want to make sure it's not a question. Can that be transparent? Help me out, Christy. What do you mean by can that be transparent? Do you mean the text on the Restream page? Yeah, the text overlay. Let's find out. Let's go back to my dashboard. Yeah, it keeps talking to me about this Facebook thing. It's saying it's not a group or a private group or whatever. Okay. Let us find out. Webcam, accessing webcam. Okay. Text banners. Maybe it's a settings thing. I'm not totally sure. No, that's my microphone. That's my camera. So again, this easy. Start with just a plug and play USB. Unless you are a sound person, you have no reason to be dealing in multiple microphones and a soundboard to start. Get a plug and play mic. Yeti makes great plug and play mics. The Yeti Blue is wonderful. A snowball mic is a great option for those of you. Even all of you actors out there that may want to consider doing some voiceover work now that we're all working from home, or you want to start submitting, Yeti is a fantastic mic to start with. Pricier than even the one that I have, but still a great mic nonetheless. I'm looking at, the how to stream piece. Let's see. If I take my piece away, this may be and again, this may be how theirs is set up. There is a way to customize everything, and I'm going to show that to you, but you're going to have to go through OBS, and that's the kicker. OBS is the kicker. Okay. That's where you start getting really, deep into design and being able to customize for yourself. Yeah, I don't see a way, but that being said, it doesn't mean you possibly couldn't. It could also be that that's something that you have to pay for, the ability to like really customize more than what you see here. So again, Restream is a low barrier to entry. It's basically OBS Lite. It allows you to stream to multiple platforms, and it will allow you to do quick and dirty, what I call the quick and dirty, right here on your screen. Simple, simple, simple. Yeah, you could use exactly. You would use a PNG ahead of time. The problem is that the text you're talking about here doesn't look to be able to load in via that. You could say, kind of trick the game, turn this off, turn your graphics logo off, and actually the question could become the thing that comes up here, right? Like if you make a PNG of your question, you could load it in like a logo and it would appear up here at the top. Yeah, so that would definitely be one way that you could do it. without a shadow of a doubt. You could also do overlays. Like if you wanted the question to really run long across the bottom here, you could actually just build an overlay with just a blank screen, transparent screen, and just the text across the bottom. Totally viable process by far. And it would be very easy for you to do. Restream also has a chat option. So you can go to each individual page, it looks like, and pull the chat up for that live stream and go across multiple browsers. But it does look like here, you can, like I could type into our Twitch, I could type into our Facebook, or I could type into, you know, wherever we're streaming to from this dashboard. The problem is I don't think you can see everybody else's chat. And part of what you're going to want to do is respond. The key to live streaming is breaking the wall of how we entertain people and being a person. So many people consume live streams now because we like people. It's where YouTube started. It's why we all started watching YouTube videos. We wanted to have short ads, and we wanted to have this kind of grassroots-based content that was being created. One wanted to see what people could do from the comfort of their home or their dad's garage, or dad's garage, or what we could do from, you know, anywhere, from a GoPro, right? And then we would edit that content and they'd put it out. And now each of us get up in the morning, and I bet you at least once a day, you watch a YouTube video. Maybe it's to get your news. Maybe it's to see the next greatest meme or hot to try video where somebody hurts themselves. Whatever it is, it's there. And it grows over time. And that growth has shifted to people not wanting to get this like necessarily perfectly polished thing. We want to see you live. We want to be there live to see it happen, which is why Snapchat did so well when it started, and then followed very promptly afterwards was Instagram, Periscope, or was, well, in order, Periscope, Instagram, and Facebook for live audiences, because they knew people could go live and people would watch. Oh, I forgot to mention something, and I should say this now. Instagram is a tough cookie for live streaming. Notice we don't have our Instagram set up here because Instagram's API does not allow you to stream for more than 10 minutes or 1 hour, depending on how many followers you have. More importantly, they want you to use their app. If you're going to stream to Instagram, you're only going to stream to Instagram. And you're going to have to do it through the app. There is no way to feed from any of these platforms that I'm talking about to Instagram right now. So note that if your mass audience is on Instagram, use Instagram, because they're going to be the ones watching you, and that's where your audience is. But recognize that a lot of what we're about to talk about is not relevant for Instagram. It's just not. And I needed to remind myself to say that. Okay, cool. So this is Restream. Restream and multi-streaming at its finest. Just all the things that you could possibly get. Here's, it looks like when you're live, you can get the Restream track and actually download it so that it can be, excuse me, so you can open it up in a browser. You can download it and host it locally, but you can see here on the right is kind of what it would look like. So you would be able to say, see, this Steven guy chatting in Facebook and somebody else chatting on Twitch. It feeds all of those 4 location chats into one place for you. In addition, it gives you analytics. These are important. Streaming analytics are important. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, Facebook and your social medias, they're not going to give you this kind of analytics, yeah? What it's going to do is give you, and we've not actually used Restream that much. We're about to kick up this on a much higher level, but it's going to give you analytics, and you want to look at these. Especially if you're streaming multiple times a day, you want to take a peek at when you're getting the most viewership. How long are people staying with you? Are they only staying with you 30 minutes of an hour? You might want to consider making a 30-minute show instead of an hour-long show. Something just really to think about in that regard, I think. Sorry, I keep opening the wrong tabs. I'm going to close this one because I don't think I need it. Okay. Restream. There it is. Okay. When you get your, this is important to note too, and I just want to say this because I know this will be a question coming. You're going to need to put in what's known as a stream key. Okay. When you sign up for Restream, you're going to get one of these. It's a specialized key that is yours and only yours. And I should reset ours now because I just showed you all live. But this stream key is yours and only yours. Do not let other people have it, because if other people have your stream key, they can stream across your stuff. Okay. This stream key can manually be put in the backside of Facebook. the easiest option is to just go make sure you're logged into all of these things. And then when you go to add the channel, it'll directly log you in, and you shouldn't have to do any kind of pairing. It should just happen. Okay, it should just happen. If it doesn't, there is a way to take that stream key, go to the back side of your Facebook page or whatever, and like load it in to manually connect the two. All right, there it is, Restream, at Restream at its finest. Any questions about Restream? I feel like this is the perfect moment to like pause. Restream does work with a Mac, to my understanding. Yep. The program that we're going to use, OBS, has two versions of it. And I'll dive into this when we dive into OBS, has two versions of it. One is OBS Streamlabs, which is kind of an integrated system between Streamlabs and OBS, and they came together and they made one platform. That is not compatible with Mac. So today, for compatibility's sake, we're going to be looking at just the basic OBS, because I want to show you how to set it up, and I want to show you how to get that the bare minimum done there. Could you have different vids from different locations and cut them through Restream, like different people talking in different locations using the platform? Good question. For example, when I host my D&D streams, I have to show everybody's face, right? But I stream with people from all over the world. And please, Nathan, let me know if this answers your question, because I think this will be the way to answer this for you. So what I do is I start a Zoom conferencing call where everybody has a little box, like, you know, where I can see all their faces. And then what I do is I stream the entirety of Zoom to it so that I can get everybody's individual box. And then I feed my desktop audio, like what I'm hearing through my headset, out publicly so that they hear everybody else talking to me. That's my cheat for that. Now, if you're talking about switching cams, yes, that is an OBS thing, and I will show that to you today. I wish I had my second camera. I let somebody else borrow it at Dad's for streaming purposes, but that's okay. I will show you how to set up multiple cams, meaning like, oh, I've got one cam from this angle and one cam from this angle, and half the time I want to be here, but then the other time I want it to switch and be here, my good side, basically. That is not something that you can do in Restream at the moment, is my understanding. Yeah, disable camera. Yeah, Restream is a little bit more basic than that, but. Yeah, and this is where we start to go deep. What you can do is build everything through OBS, feed it through Restream, feed OBS through Restream, and then broadcast out to all of the other platforms. So that's the inception model, right? Which is like I build everything in OBS, I feed it to Restream, and the Restream feeds it out to all of my other platforms. There is that option, and I can definitely show you a little bit more about that. For those of you just beginning to start, Restream can be a very easy point of entry, right? Do not get bogged down in the technology. Like I said, if you go back and look at my very first Twitch video, it was literally nothing more than me sitting on a screen, sanding a Darth Vader 3D helmet that I made. Like, that was it. There was nothing snazzy, nothing popped up. I think I had my social handles at the bottom, but that was about it. And then what I made sure to do was drop a donation link in chat for people throughout the ongoing process until I figured it out, because I set it up all up. When I started, it was kind of a free-for-all, and I was doing it on my own. I was figuring it out as I went. So everything that I'm distilling out to you today is based on personal experience of learning it on my own. So what I'd like to do, because we are at the, we're about, okay, let's take a 7-8 minute, correct. Yes, thank you, Preston. So media feeds, cameras feed to OBS, OBS feeds to Restream, Restream feeds out. Yes, let's go bio. We'll take a break, get some more coffee. So we'll take 7 minutes, give or take. So we'll be back somewhere close to about the like 10:25-ish mark, we'll say. And then we'll pop back in, and then I'm going to switch over to OBS. I'm going to get all of that set up right now for all of you. And then we can pop in and take a look at OBS and the backside of Twitch. Oh, we got a little mention by old Lois this morning. Yeah, I'll be doing an interview with them on Thursday. Everybody, shh, you're not supposed to know that yet. I'll be doing an interview with Lois on Thursday about all this for Dad's Garage. So very excited. Very excited. So break, here we go. What I'm gonna do is just mute myself, mute my camera and stop sharing my screen. Let me turn my camera off so that I can actually do the things that I say I'm gonna do. And then we'll come back and I will share my screen once again with all of you. All right, I'll see you all in about 7 minutes. All right, how's everybody doing? Did we get we'll buy a break? Oh, where's my chat? Okay. Okay. Right, because it's running here. So let me. Okay. I need to find like a, I think we're just going to start fresh. Okay. Live stream learning. There we go. Okay. Boop, boop, do. Okay, gang. I went over the break and pulled some links for all of you of just some technology things. So I'm kind of starting a list. Oops. I was over the break. I was thinking in regards to this. Some of you should be very aware about the limitations of your computer. Some computers are just not. They don't have the processing power to be able to live stream. That's just a matter of fact. Like my laptop is really not made for live streaming. So that's something to consider too, is to do some testing and make sure that if you're going to run off of a laptop that you have both the internet bandwidth and the actual processing power to get it up. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, for those of you interested in doing video game streams, you're going to need a good graphics card. Just know that you're going to need a good graphics card. If you're planning on having like a live reading of a play and you're going to have 7 cameras open of different people that everybody's like sitting on screen together, you know, you're going to need a higher quality graphics card. The more things that you do, the better your technology is going to have to be. So also keep that in mind in terms of realistic expectation. So, yep, just putting that out there. I thought about that. I was like, I didn't really talk about computer limitations. So I know, like, when I really got going into this, I invested in a desktop computer because I needed it. After about 2.5 years, I finally upgraded my graphics card. My processor was fine, but I upgraded and my memory. But I did upgrade my graphics card heavily, and it has made all the difference. My streams are cleaner, smoother. I never have tech issues. So just really think about that, because your laptop may literally not be able to handle broadcasting out to 4 different networks. It may only be able to handle 1. So just don't let that surprise you if you get going and for some reason it's not working. It could be your computer. It really could be your computer. So how's everybody holding up? Are we learning things? Do we have questions after the break regarding anything that we've like already talked about? I'll take another second to like Q&A if we would like. Oh, I think I saw flashing. Nope. Okay. Cool. More excited about the OBS part. Here we go. This is my excitement as well. So for all of you at home, if you think that you're not going to be diving quite as deep, it may not hurt you to watch OBS. You may learn a lot because I'm going to show you the back end of Twitch as well as OBS, which is a big deal. Actually, let me log out of Dad's Garage Twitch and go to my Twitch because I'm going to be. I need to log into my Twitch and not Dad's Garage before we go into the back of this. Okay, and then I'll share my screen again and we'll get booted up. Logging in. Okay, so I think the first thing we should do is actually look at Twitch for those of you that don't actually have never done anything but maybe like watched a game on Twitch, which is fine. Being a consumer is the fastest and easiest way to understand the platform. I'll be honest with you, like being somebody that consumes media there, but never hurts. Okay, so closing all of these Amazon links because I'm building those for all of you. Okay, closing that. Let's go check out Twitch. So I'm going to shut my camera and share my screen again. Most of my workflow for audio video editing is on Mac. Is streaming mostly a Windows environment? No. I have a lot of people, Hunter, that stream via Mac. So that shouldn't really be a problem. Like I said, I mean, I use Windows because I'm a Windows girl, but you can stream. I mean, Restream, because it's hosted on the web, doesn't matter what platform or what your running system is. Your choice of running system. The only thing that I think doesn't work with Mac right now is Streamlabs OBS. And like I said, that's that like merger platform because it's relatively new. That I wouldn't worry too much about that because OBS, the baseline OBS that we're looking at today, is completely available for Mac. I have tons of friends that do things on Mac. So just know that it is. I don't think that it's limited to just a Windows environment. All right, so here we go. This is the front page of Twitch. This is what the front page of my Twitch looks like. Okay, for those of you that have never been to Twitch before, welcome to the chaos that is self-publishing, self-publishing to the internet. So the first thing is channels that I follow, just like you follow something on social media, are going to pop up over here when they're live. I'm going to be able to see how many viewers they are, who the person is, and what they're currently streaming. So one of my good friends, Josh, who's over in the UK, he is currently streaming a video game called Stellaris. And he has about 22 viewers at the moment, yeah? This is what, if you go to the front page of Twitch, yours is also going to look similar to this, especially if you log in. Some of you may watch different things. Yours probably looks a lot different in terms of suggested channels and whatnot. Speaking of Josh, there he is right there. This is what we call a front page of Twitch, this bar up here. These are selected slots by Twitch where you can book for a 2-hour time slot, but they usually reserve them for what we call partners, which are big Twitch channels, and those of us that, you know, or maybe if you're having a special event. I'm trying to get dads on the front page. We'll see if that happens. Okay. This person's playing SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom. I am so here for this person. Be my best friend. That's amazing. For 500 people. They are playing SpongeBob for 500 people. I just need you to all see that. Okay, so let's take a look at the back end of Twitch because that's where we need to start to go into OBS, all right? All of you, if you sign up for an account, all of you get what's known as a creator dashboard. Regardless of whether or not you're streaming, you're gonna get an account. Now, the biggest misconception right here, right now about Twitch is that simply having an account is enough. It is not. You can't go to the back page of Twitch anywhere in here and live stream from this platform, this side of things. You have to use another platform to stream to Twitch, even in your streaming tools. And look, it gives you suggestions of different broadcasting software that you can use, okay? Oh, I saw some more questions come in. They're speed running SpongeBob. I love it. Okay. So here's what the back end looks like. So this is what, if you go to my channel, I'm offline. This is a plate, what I call a plate. If people come to my channel and I'm not live, I still want them to get information. So I put what is known as a plate up so that there is something there. I'm actually going to pull up 2 sides of this. Let's do this. Go to the front end of my channel as well. So you can see what like a general audience sees versus what I see on the back end. I think that will be helpful as well. So here's what my channel looks like when you come scrolling through. These panels down here are completely 100% editable. Okay? You can edit all of these. Important things to put in your panels: a schedule if you've got one, who you are, and rules for your channel. If you don't have rules, people aren't going to follow them because they don't have them. I am serious when I say, please write rules for your channel, because trolls will come in and say, oh yeah, well, you don't have rules up anywhere, so I don't have to follow that. And they're absolutely right. So please make sure to have rules for your channel. These are kind of what mine look like, right? It's an equitable channel. Don't be rude. Don't harass viewers or players. The only trolls I allow are big green NPCs. Please speak English. that's the thing. You can ask people to speak so that you know that they're not trolling people or saying hateful things in another language that you can't read. And then lastly, don't be an asshole. That's pretty simple, right? But what's great about all of these is these are also clickable. So like if I click this, this goes to my Patreon. Yeah. So you could like, it clicks straight through to my Patreon. Yeah. All of these click straight through to my social media. These are additional extensions, which I will talk about for Twitch. These additional extensions will allow you to do things like, these are all the shows I'm currently running, right? These are their characters, so you can see all the characters, their stats. These are all fancy things that you don't really have to worry about to start. You want people to be able to very quickly donate. You want people to find out who you are very quickly and to be able to connect with you again and to know the rules of your channel. Okay, for bare minimum. Even if we visit Dad's Garage, still doesn't like that search. Oh, perfect. Yes, it does. Great. Even if I search Dad's Garage and we go to their front page, you can see they only have 4 and it looks different than mine, right? These are clickable. All these buttons are clickable. We have rules about us. Bare minimum is okay. Bare minimum is okay. So if we go back, I will quickly show you how this is done. When you are on your page, you'll see this little tab right here. If I click this, it makes these panels down here editable. And you can see, this is just an image that I loaded up, this YouTube. These are all images that I loaded up and I linked those images if need be. If there was information I wanted underneath it, like how Dad's Garage was done, I just put text here and then it basically pops them in. You can save them, change them, link them. Here are, of course, the two extensions. And then you close the edit panel and it puts them in place for you. Okay, that's the front end. Back to the back end. So you can see this landing page when I'm not live is what you're seeing here, because this is your live dashboard. When you go live, it will also show you your live screen here, as well as activity. You can see the follows, when people have cheered and bits and whatnot. It's important to note on Twitch, when you start, you cannot monetize your channel other than sending people off, like I said, to like a donation link. You can do that. Twitch has a multi-step process to gaining and being able to do more monetization. The first step is known as affiliate. Affiliates can reach that status by, you have to have 50 followers. You have to stream for 7 days within a 30-day set. You have to stream at least 8 hours within 30 days. And you have to maintain a minimum average viewership of 3 people. It's not that hard, but it does require upfront dedication. Dad's Garage almost met our affiliate ship yesterday. All we've got to do is stream for 8 hours, okay? 7 days and 8 hours is all we've got left. So know that it's not that hard to reach the affiliate process. And I can actually show that to you, I believe. Achievements. Okay, so path to partner. I'm on my way to path to partner. Right now, my average viewership is down, but let's start here. So it begins, you get like all these special things when you first start your page, and then you can kind of build a community, right? Managing roles, adding people, having people follow, reach 50 followers. Then the path to affiliate. You cannot accept monetary donation on Twitch until you become an affiliate. Once you become an affiliate, now we're talking a whole new level of monetization for your Twitch channel. You can then accept something called bits, which are basically digital currency. That's it. They're digital. You know, we all play cell phone games where we take real money and we turn it into fake digital money that gets used in whatever way. Maybe it's little coins or little gadgets or whatever the game is. Twitch does something similar. People that have a Twitch account can say, I'd like to convert $10 into, I'll do the math here, 10,000 bits. They call them bits, B-I-T-S, bits. And those bits have monetary value, but only on Twitch. And then people that are going from Twitch channel to Twitch channel can give bits to you, and every 100 bits equal $1. So somebody can cheer 200 bits, and what you're actually getting is $2. It is micro monetization. Live streaming is not the same as, and for those of you that work in fundraising or those of you that work for a nonprofit theater, it is, or any really nonprofit arts organization, this is a different kind of fundraising. Everything you know about donorship and moving people through process and asking for large dollar amounts, that is not how live streaming functions. Live streaming is built off micro donations. So instead of getting 2 donations at $50, you're going to get 50 donations at $2. That is the important piece of understanding that. Correct. Before affiliate status, you cannot receive donations or subs directly through Twitch. So that's, so I will clarify that then. So until you reach affiliate status, meaning you have checked all these boxes, you filled out then an application that goes to Twitch and they approve you. They have to approve you. You don't make affiliate ship. Now, I'm going to lay this out in some statistics for you so that you understand how many people gain affiliate versus partner. Partner is a whole separate story. Once you become a partner, you're considered within the top 10% of all Twitch streamers. And it is significantly harder to gain partnership. I can still fulfill all of these things and they will deny me. Path to partner. Partner is not as easy. Most people end up in affiliate ship if you're looking to receive money. If you become an affiliate, you can then accept bits on Twitch. You can accept direct donations through something called Streamlabs, which requires you to set up one additional step to receive like donations. So they may not want to turn their $50 into bits. They just may want to give you $50, but they can do it right there on Twitch. And third, you can receive something called subscriptions. Subscriptions start at $5 a month once you become an affiliate. If somebody subscribes to your channel, they give you $5 a month. You get $2.50 of it. Twitch keeps $2.50 of it. And then subscribers gain access to extra things that nobody else does. Say, for example, custom emotes. So I will show you this because I do have subscribers and they love my emotes. So let's pop over. Well, I say that. There we go. Okay, so if you come to, oh, I'm hosting somebody else right now. Let's unhost them so that we can actually look at my channel proper. Okay. Sorry, I have auto hosts on. Okay, so when you scroll all the way down here to the bottom, you can see all of this is customized. When you become a subscriber for 1 month, you get what's known as a badge. So this little like almost empty Zelda heart shows up next to your name. And then when you become a subscriber for 3 months, it comes to this. And then 6 months, and then 9 months, and then 12 months. So the more you subscribe, the more your badge fills up. It's like a mini game in and itself for my subscribers. In addition, you gain access to these at tier 1, which is $5 a month. You gain access to these 5 emotes that are custom emotes of my channel. That means you now have these emotes in your library of emoticons to spread all over the Twitch universe. Okay. People love that, which means they could go be in somebody else's chat dropping my emotes and somebody may be like, oh damn, I love your pride cake emote. Where did you get that? Oh, you have to be a subscriber for Little Red Dot. It's an incentive. And people do. Pride cake is my #1 emote. People freaking love my pride cake. That and snap heart. So these are ways to incentivize people too. Once you reach affiliate status, now you start customizing the branding of your page, which is really, it can be very, very cool. At tier 2, which I believe is $10 a month, yeah, $12 a month, you get these 5 plus tier 2, the crit die, so that if you're watching another RPG channel and somebody crits, you can drop a crit die in chat. Tier 3 is $24 a month. And once you hit tier 3, you get the custom dot lot, which is what my channel is called. I am Little Red Dot. I support the dot lot. The dot lot emote so that when you're out and about, you can share the love of the dot lot, right? Oh, excuse me. Here we go. $4.99, so $5, $9.99, and $24.99. So you can see the tiering of subscriptions. The great thing about subscriptions is that once somebody signs up for a subscription, it's auto. Oh my gosh, somebody must be currently following my channel because I just got notifications. That's funny. It's really funny actually. So just know that is one additional way to incentivize people. Let's see, more chat questions. Yes, correct, Nathan. Okay, so for clarification, okay, we answered that one. Hosting. So could I set up a StreamWorks Lab channel, and when it isn't streaming, we can host individual artist streams? Yes. Well, thank you for that follow. Yes, that is true. So one of the things you can do on the back end is set up a series of channels that if you are not live and they are, it auto hosts them. You can also manually host people. Like if you know one friend is going live and you just want to host them for that period of time, there's a short key for that, but you can set it up. So like my friend Fuzzy, who was just streaming, I auto host her when I'm not live. And I have a series of those. And you can even set priority that's like, well, even if these two people are streaming live and I'm not, and I want to host, it's going to host this person first before it hosts this person. You can set up a lot of that contingency to do it that way. Okay. So let's take a look here again on the back end. Most important thing, Twitch cannot be directly monetized until you reach affiliateship. You need to be, if you're coming to Twitch and you're going to really want to do this, like this is not something that's going to be a short-term 8-week thing for you, which it's fine if you want to launch your channel for that. But if you're going to do this ongoing and this is something that you really want to use to move forward with, you need to try to reach affiliateship so that you can have monetization options and ways to incentivize your audience to give to you. Okay. In addition, I'll say this regarding subscriptions on Twitch. They partner with Amazon Prime, which means anybody that has a Prime account automatically gets one free subscription to give to anybody every month. So one of the big things that I do is at the top of every month, I always run a stream. And then I remind everybody, hey, it's the first of the month. You've got that free Amazon Prime. It's free for you. You don't pay a dime and I still get money. So I always encourage, I do a stream that's literally just to get free Amazon Prime subscription so that I can get the money off of it and my subscribers don't have to pay anything. All right. Back end stuff. So you will be able to see all kinds of things from this, including like stream summary. You can see like average viewership, how things ebb and flow. People can clip certain pieces of your videos. You can also add role managers. And I think this is really, really important. If you're going to have a lot of people dealing with your channel, not everybody needs your login. I repeat, read my lips. Do not give your Twitch login away to a bunch of people. Have them go sign up for an individual Twitch account and give them one of two roles: moderator status, which allows them to block and ban people in chat, as well as like deal with general public facing stuff, or give them editor status, which means that they can get to the backside of your Twitch page to say, edit stream info or do a little something here if you mess something up or you're not available, without giving them full and total control of your channel. Please do this. That is how I set Dad's Garage up, because we're going to have a lot of people involved, but the last thing we need is everybody on the back end logging in and messing with things in case something gets messed up, because then I have no idea how to fix it. So you can add roles here and you can see like I've got a bot that is actually a moderator, which allows me to like drop hotkeys. And again, we'll talk about that in a second. So you can organize your content. You can set it up so after you stream, it automatically archives. Twitch only archives your videos for 30 days. Twitch only archives your videos for right around 30 days. Actually, it might be 90 days. I could be wrong about that. Anyways, it's a short time frame. They're not going to archive them forever, but you can still organize them. So for example, the last game I did was we did this finale of our Dragon Age RPG. I've set this up where I can add this to collections, like actually organize my content by like, that's a tabletop game. This is a video game. This is cosplay building, right? So I can organize my videos so that when people come back to my channel, they can, I'm hosting Fuzzy again, they can look through my videos and see them via organization as much as anything. So they can flip through just in like order, but they can also view all past broadcasts organized by whatever they're searching for. So people can also gain more content, right? For those of you that were asking earlier about multiple camera, you can see here, I'm running this like Vikings game with all these women. You can see how I do it. Like, you can see right here, maybe, how I capture, this is just a Zoom call. And then I've created an overlay that captures each of their boxes. So stinking easy. That is a great way to do script readings from home. A great way to do trivia nights, a great way to do artist talks, interviews. Just capture 2 cameras. The other cool thing that Twitch does is once you are done, like once you're actually done streaming and they archive your video, you can go straight from here and export it directly to YouTube. There's no having to go download the video, go take it to YouTube, wait on more processing. It will export it directly to YouTube for you. So as long as you're not looking to do any editing at the top and bottom, you can send that video right over for archival purposes, which is exactly what I do. We got questions coming through. I'm loving this. Okay. You can host, let's see. Can you drop out of affiliate status? You cannot. Once you become an affiliate, you are an affiliate, and you are an affiliate ongoing. Christy says, you host another Twitch channel, for example, someone who isn't monetized, so you can help monetize them? You can. You can host that person. They come up on your channel. Now remember, so let me see if I can make the hosting clearer, because I think there might be a little confusion. And then I will finish answering that question, which is, can you help monetize them? Remember, the monetization regardless is going into your bank account attached to your Twitch, right? So you can say, hey, everybody, let me go back to the front page of mine. And I'll show you actually how this works. So my friend Fuzzy, that is live right now, Fuzzy Freaks, adore her. She's amazing, right? I'm going to unhost her so that I can show you exactly how this works. Okay, so I'm unhosting her for just a second. So I'm not live. I'm not hosting anything at the moment, but let's say X, Y, and Z artist that's in my working group is about to go live on their channel. That's how this works. They have to go live on their channel. So right now you can see Fuzzy, she's live right over here. She's live playing Surviving Mars for about 28 people. I see Fuzzy's live. Down here in my own chat, I'm going to use the hotkey, and you can see the moment I type backslash or forward slash, ban, clear, delete, right? All of this kind of stuff. So I can hit / host Fuzzy, and then I type in her handle, Freaks, and hit enter. I say that. Did I do it right? Fuzzy Freaks. Did I do that right? Oh, I know why. It's case sensitive. Oh, yes, it is case sensitive. Okay. So you see, I typed in / host Fuzzy Freaks. Now I'm hosting her on my channel, and people can technically come into my chat right now. All of you could come over to my Twitch channel. We could be live chatting right here, watching Fuzzy host on her channel on my channel, right? The difference is if you make a donation, say, so for example, I'll put my support link here. If I drop this and people click this link right here to donate, that's donating to me. Now I can, when all is said and done, give a portion of it over to Fuzzy and say, hey, we were all watching you live and I made all this money while we were watching you on my channel. So I want to split income with you. Is totally doable, but you cannot monetize for somebody else on your channel. All you can do is host them, take donations through your stuff, and then you can deal with the back end of how you want to disperse out later. So for example, my RPG games, I pay all of my players. If I have voice actors and talent that show up to play in my RPG games, they get paid. They get paid $10 a game. So I keep track of all of that. All the money comes into me via Patreon, via bits and tips, via donations, via all the platforms. And then at the end of the month, I pay out to my players through PayPal. I just say, here's your portion of X, Y, and Z that we earned. Hopefully that answered your question a little bit more. Great. Yes. Let's see. You can cross archive on YouTube to save episodes, or do you have to upload raw? Yeah. So hopefully I answered that for you, Nathan, there. You can go direct from Twitch to YouTube. The other thing, remember, is like, let's say that you are feeding to both YouTube and Twitch. YouTube will just archive whatever you've got left. Okay. There's bare minimum on Twitch. I'm going to jump over to OBS now. Some of Twitch is just about getting into it. So let's minimize and let's go over to the big cat known as OBS. This is OBS. This is what it looks like when you have nothing loaded into it. Now, please ignore all of these things because these are all of my broadcasts preloaded, right? Like you can see, these are all of my scenes. Some of this is going to look a little familiar to say the way that Streamlabs looked to us. I'm sorry, Restream looked to us earlier. The difference is OBS is bigger and there's a lot more setup. So it starts looking like this. First thing that you have to do is decide where OBS is broadcasting out to, because in your settings, you have to come to your settings. You have to go to stream and you have to put a stream key in here. So let me explain what that means. We talked earlier on Streamlabs, I'm sorry, on Restream. Boop. I showed you Dad's Garage's stream key. Yeah. Right here, I wish you would quit giving me that pop-up. This digit code. I can copy this, copy that key, go into OBS, replace it with the one that's my Twitch channel, copy and paste the new one in, which means now when I hit go on OBS, guess where it's feeding it to? Restream. Because it's using my Restream key. It is important to note you do have a special stream key in on Twitch. So if you want to go just from OBS to Twitch only, which is how I do the majority of what I do, you're going to need to get your stream key. Where is that? I got to remember. I think it's under channel preferences. I'm pretty sure. Yes. So primary stream key. You would copy that stream key for Twitch, and you're going to bring it over to OBS and you're going to drop it right here. What OBS is doing is feeding everything of yours through a server. I'm on the Atlanta server, but there are other servers that you can feed through. Sometimes servers get bogged down. If you're having a hard time or you're not getting like the upload that you want or things are being funky, you might just want to change your server to something else and run it through a server on a different area of the United States. I let it auto choose this because I'm in Atlanta. Okay, that's the bare minimum of that. You cannot go live from OBS until you tell OBS where you're sending it. And that is what that stream key is about. Are you sending it to Restream? Are you sending it to Twitch? Technically, YouTube is going to have a stream key that you could put in here if you just want to go straight to YouTube, okay? I'm not going to change that because it's set up for me right now. All right, next. What you're staring at is a blank screen. It is currently not taking audio input. It's not outputting audio. It's not showing any video. It just is, right? So we have to set all of those up. So the first thing you're going to do in OBS is build what's known as a scene. You can do that by clicking this plus sign here. A new scene comes up. I've already built one for us, a blank one called Live Stream Learning. This is our test area for today, okay? Let's say you end up with multiple shows. Build a scene for each show. Don't dump all your stuff in one because it's going to become very difficult to do what needs to be done, okay? So drop a scene in. Now, inside of that scene or folder, as we'll call it, the big umbrella at the top, you're going to be able to add what's known as sources. These sources are everything from potentially those PNG overlay questions that we were talking about, to the mass screen overlay, to trailers, to music, to any source that you want people to see is going to be added right here. So we're going to start with the bare minimum. Today, we are going to set up in OBS the bare minimum you would need for a stream, okay? I'm going to show you how that's done. So the first thing we're going to do, audio for OBS has to be taken both in and go out. Okay, so step one, let's add our audio source. I'm going to click the plus and I'm going to do audio input. Input means the sound going into the computer, meaning capturing my voice in my microphone. So I'm going to add an audio input source. You'll see I have a bunch of other sources already. Just ignore this for now. I'm going to name this live stream mic. Maybe you have multiple mics. You might want to name it. I have a CAD mic. I'm going to hit OK. Next thing it's going to do is ask me to select that device. If I have multiple microphones, it needs to pick up on which one I'm going to be using. Now, if you only have the one, say with your webcam, that's going to be the microphone you're going to use. In this case, I'm going to use my CAD microphone and I'm going to hit OK. The first thing you'll notice that's going to change is it's now picking up my microphone. This was not here just a second ago. Yeah. So I can adjust this. I'm already peaking. I can see I'm hitting red. So I'm going to take that down just a tad. Now I'm in a little bit healthier range in case I want to get loud or I need to get really soft. I can still pick it up. But I can see that I am feeding live audio and sound right there. The next thing we want to do is add output. It's great that my voice is coming through, but what if I'm streaming with a bunch of other people and I need to get their voices too? Right? Like, let's say my friends and I get together to do a script reading. I'll just use that as an easy example. And we're all going to be in a Zoom chat, just like we are right now. And I need to capture their voices as well as mine. Well, I'm not getting their live microphone. All I'm getting is them through my headset. So really the output as the host to Twitch is just what's coming in through my ears. So I'm going to add an audio output capture. Again, new one. So we'll say live stream audio. We'll say Zoom audio. The more specific you can be, the better for yourself. And then I'm going to say, great. What I want to come through is the default speakers that I'm using, okay? And I should be able to now scroll and see there is live Zoom audio happening here. And I can test and make sure that's working by unmuting my desktop. Oops. You can see when it binged, it just went up. When I did the sound edit, which tells me that it's picking up my headphones. If all of you, say, were to turn your microphones on at home and talk to me in this Zoom chat, it would pick your voices up on this channel. Okay? And I can, again, directly edit that. I can mute you all. I could mute myself. Very simple, just audio mixer looking. Okay. Boom. Now we have sound. Now we need video. We've got to add a new source. This source is going to be a video capture device. Okay, you can see that I already have existing ones. If you're building a lot of different scenes, meaning you're going to be doing a lot of different shows, my suggestion is just to have one. I have a video 1080, that's my camera already set up. So I would select that and just add it. If I wanted to create a new one, I could do live stream, live webcam. Okay, and I could come in here and there it is. It immediately pops up. It's the first thing that comes into viewing for this, okay? From here, I can configure the video. I can do all kinds of things. I can flip it vertically, which for the record is helpful for all of you artists out there. I've done a few artist streams or like sewing streams where I've had two cams, one on myself and one on my sewing machine down. And actually it was easier to flip my camera facing down at my desktop, and I had to rotate everything because it was all upside down when I flipped my camera down. So there are ways and beneficial things to you can do right here, including green screen for the record, which is way deeper. So I'm not going to get into that, but you can do a green screen on OBS. So there it is. I've added my cam. Now I can size it up, fit it to the screen how I want. There. Now that is what the audience is seeing. So we now have live stream microphone set up, audio output set up so that if I'm doing it with other people, they can hear me, or if there's music I want them to hear, they can hear it when I play it on my computer. And we now have an actual webcam, my webcam set up. Maybe you're doing this from your dining room table and a bunch of actors are getting around. You only need one webcam. And then you would only technically need mic input because everybody's together in one place. Okay. Now, but this is kind of boring. And I want to say add an overlay, something that's going to make it a little bit more personal. So I'm going to come in here. An overlay, if it is a JPEG or PNG, it is considered an image. So I'm going to, do I have one that's already set up for myself? That's okay. We'll just add a new one. We'll create a new one. We'll do test overlay. Okay. And we're going to use the same one that I used over on Restream because it's available. So, nope, wrong one. Okay. There we go. So what I've done, this is a PNG. I just loaded this file up. The PNG is already set to 920 by 1080, 1920, by 1080. So basically the width of the screen so that it's a high quality. I've just loaded the image file in and I hit OK. And there it is. Now I may want to adjust my camera. I might be able to say, well, it's a little off here, a little off there. I want to adjust. I want to fix. I want to do a thing. So I can adjust. Now I've got these kind of bars around the top where I could add stuff. So let's say I want to call this stream something. I'm going to add a text. This is Live Streaming 101. Okay. Now I can come in here and say this is Live Streaming 101. Those are 2 words. Okay. Yeah. And you'll see immediately just up here, it already popped up. It's already a new layer. The one thing that I want to do, there are a couple things that I want to do, is adjust the font. It's not really my brand, right? The larger you can make, I always do my font 200%. You can also do 150 technically, but you want it to be as clean as possible and you can see the lines get cleaner. If I said did a 20% font and then sized it up, it's gonna be real blurry. So I always do just a higher font size and then I can size it up and down. But I'm gonna scroll through and say, well, let's see, I want a, are my individual fonts? Yes, they are. Okay. My individual fonts, my branded fonts are loaded on here. So those are going to be the ones that I use. I will load them on and I will hit OK. I can change the color. I can change whatever I want. But here it is. This is now movable text. I can have it anywhere on the screen that I want. I can size it up and down. And I could just name this show now. It's right there. This is a great way to put your handles on the screen. Now I've got that, but oh, I really need to also add my logo. So I'm going to add a new image. This is one I know I already have loaded up. Right? There's my logo. Each one of these pieces, everything that you want to see on the screen is going to be added as a new source in some way, shape, or form. All right? So I might put it really kind of tiny there at the top so that it fits within the like little bar or whatever. Now I'm getting ever closer to like a more developed stream, I guess you could say. I can also do really interesting things. The only other piece of software I'm going to suggest is something called Snaz, S-N-A-Z, Snaz. Snaz is a very simple piece of software that allows you to create text files that can change live. So this is how I do a countdown, for example. So I will show that to you. Here's Snaz. You should be able to see it on my screen. This is what it looks like. It also allows you to do things like scrolling text and stuff like that. So basically, ignore all this up here. None of this is really relevant to me right now. But count down to a specific time. This is. So let's say, and this is just good practice, if you just hit the go button and go live and start talking, it's going to be a minimum 5 to 6 minutes before you actually have decent viewership. So why go live right away when you could say have a countdown screen? And I'll actually show you one I've got set up. Oh, that's not the right one. All my stuff's all weird because, yeah. Okay, so here we go. Here's a prime example. This is just an image, an old image of me on this background here. And let's say that I want to, oh, you know, here's my video gaming one. This one's already set up. Let's say that I want to do a countdown. I'm counting down into a video game stream of No Man's Sky. And I want to have a timer so that people know I'm going live in 5 minutes. I'm live on air. They're watching the countdown, but give yourself 5 minutes to collect an audience before you go live. Just a good practice. So what I'm going to do is give it today's date, which is the 17th. And I'm going to say we're going live. What time is it? It is 11:08. We're going to go live at 11:30. Live at 11:30. Okay. 11:30. And then I'm going to hit start. And we immediately start counting down. And a 21-minute timer is counting backwards towards it. And you can see it popped up right here on my screen because I have it set up this way, I guess you could say. But I'm going to show you how to add this timer from this program, okay? So step one, once this timer is running, you'll see it creates this file here, snaz/text files countdown.txt, right? I'm going to copy it, okay? I'm going to show you how to put it into our brand new countdown. These things are great for like a birthday stream or like 30 minutes to donate before I do something crazy. You can add this overlay. Okay, so I'm going to add a new source. This is technically a text source, just like we did this live streaming, but instead of creating it inside of OBS, I'm connecting it to a file. So I'm going to say countdown, creating a new, oh great, count, okay, yeah, I get it, test, countdown test. Okay, I could type here and it appears, or I can say read it from a file. What Snaz does is it saves that changing countdown file locally on your computer, and then you can access it by that file that you just, title that you just copied. So I'm gonna hit browse and just copy and paste that in and hit open. Look at what just popped up on the screen. And now I can do all the selecting, changing, affecting it that I want. Match my, like, let's say I want this one to be in just an outline, and I hit OK. Now I can come down here and I can drop this outline right there. I remember doing a birthday stream where we counted down to midnight for my birthday, and it was one of the most popular and well-funded streams I've ever done. Okay, does OBS have any built-in audio compression or limiting or anything? Not that I know of. That's a good question, Nathan. My understanding is if you really want to get to like audio compression and editing of things, you're better off feeding things through a soundboard, managing your sound in the soundboard, and making the soundboard what your audio output pickup is. Snaz is not an app. It is now an app on my computer, but you need to download it. It's free. You can find it online, and you will need to install it if you would like to use it. I'll make another example quickly using Snaz. Let's say I want to do a text to line changer. Like, let's say I want to thank some donors, and I'm not in a place to have a bunch of snazzy stuff and all this other tech running in the background that's doing like scrolling and pop-ups and all that kinds of stuff. So let's take a look. Yeah, and I don't know about Mac. We may have to find something, an alternative to Snaz if there's not a Mac, but they should be out there. You may be able to do like a general Google search that's like Snaz version for Apple or Mac and see what comes up. So let's start fresh. I'm going to get rid of all of these. All right, but let's say I want to thank my donors. Now, this is a little bit of a manual entry, but not too hard. First thing I'm going to do is, this is time and countdown. I'm going to go to text line changer, and I'm going to hit add a new text line. Oh, yeah. Oh, here. I'm sorry. I need to type it in. So I would be like donor. Oh my gosh, I can spell. Name 1. All right. And then I'm going to add it. And then I'm going to say donor name 2. And I'm going to add that person's name. Right. And I'll say donor 3 will actually add a name. Here's mine. Right? So this is a way to thank your funders, to hit some sponsors, to just everybody that donates. You can add a new line. You see how quickly I'm adding these, right? Boom, 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 that fast. You can say how long it takes for lines to switch. Maybe I want it to switch lines every 3 seconds. And then I'm going to hit start. And then I'm going to look what it did. It immediately created a file just like our countdown timer that I'm going to copy. And then I'm going to come right back over here and add a new source. So I'm going to hit play, or I'm going to hit plus text, a new text line. This is going to be sponsor, thank you, thank yous. Okay. Read from file, browse, drop in that line of text. Look what pops up. Now let's see if it changes after 3 seconds. Donor name number 2. Donor name number 3. So what I'm going to do now is go to select a font, get all my same kind of stuff together so that my branding matches. Branding is a thing, everyone. It makes a difference, I promise. Laundry solid. Let's do solid. Okay. There are my donor names. They're flipping through. Yeah. I'll hit OK. And maybe I want these to be like up here. And then, I mean, there's so many things I could do, right? I could come in here and add another text, and this is just a thank you. Thank you, donors. Right? Okay. Here I'm going to write oh yeah, I'll go to 150 for sake of that. Under solid. That's fine. We'll do outline. Why not? We'll get saucy and weird with everything, right? Okay. Now I can size this down. It's kind of small. I'm going to have to change the font on that. Not good choice. Where is it though? There it is. Okay, perfect. Okay, now I can move this down and I can just build these things, right? So that the thank you donors is like a set text. And when I get it where I want it, lock it in place. Down here, you can see these locks, lock it. Now, if I'm accidentally live, I can't accidentally move it and fudge it up. This is also great if you're gonna be sharing this responsibility with another individual to like get it set up and then everybody uses the same stuff. So see how easy that is? Thank you donors, thank you name. And you can see we're building all of these sources, right? This functions just like any design program. This is layering. If I moved this thank you donors, say behind the overlay, it's gonna disappear because it's now behind this blue overlay, see? So you do have to layer them appropriately. I find that the easiest, for me, the easiest thing to do is to put all of my sound and video at the very bottom and then just lock them into place when I get them where I want them to go. Then then I put everything else on top of that in whatever order seems most appropriate, depending on what I'm going to be changing the most. I could even say, thank you donors. And you know what? We'll add one more. Just for this. Again, you could do an image like you were talking about, like a PNG of text would just be added as an image if you would rather do it that way versus inside of OBS. Looks like I got some questions coming through. Let's take a moment and get those answered so that we don't get ahead of ourselves. Chat says, I keep dropping connection, so I'm going to catch the rest on YouTube. Thank you so much. Okay, great. So now's probably a good time. This gang is literally the bare minimum of what you're going to need to do to go live. You get this set up, whatever you want people to see. Now, the last thing I'm going to show you is how to transition, because transitioning can be very fun and add a lot to the broadcasting portion of things. All right. So this is what people are going to see when I go live, when my face is there and I'm talking to them. But what about that 5 minutes before? So I'm going to just add a new one, and this is going to be live stream test learning countdown. Okay. It's cleared it all out. Here's the thing. During a countdown, I don't want them to hear my voice, and I don't want them necessarily to hear what we may be chatting about in Zoom while we're all waiting for the show to start. So I'm not even going to add audio to this. Instead, I'm going to add some music to play. So I'm going to go add what's known as a media source. And I got all kinds of, I got all kinds of music here, right? So here's Purloin Code. I don't even know what all this is. Here, PC countdown music. Perfect. I'm going to hit enter. Immediately, you'll see it's playing. It's not playing in my ears. I can't hear it, but I know that this music, which is just an MP4 file. Remember, if you're going to play music, you need to make sure that you play music that you have the rights to. One of the websites that I love that has free open music for use, as long as you tag them on the screen. So for example, I'd have to add a text that says, I actually probably already have one, music right here, is a website called purpleplanet.com. I highly suggest them. You can use their music live on stream as long as you always have this music at HTTPS and it goes to your YouTube as well. So the first thing I'm going to do is put that in place. Now I want to have some kind of general image for people to use. And you know what? We're going to add a new one. Because I have a fun one that I downloaded yesterday that's really cute, and I can show you like interesting ways to add some dimension to your stream. So yesterday we did Ed, Tom, and Ruben, and I got to find the Ed, Tom, and Ruben. I've clearly been working like a lot. Here we go. Here we go. Now we're kicking. Which Twitch screen is it? I'm gonna have to scroll through all of these, aren't I? Oh well. Okay. Well, I'll just pick one and we'll go with one. Because I mean, I could literally use anything that I wanted in regards to that, I think. So we'll use, say, this one. Why not? Oh, I really wanted the one that I made. It was so perfect and like, well, it was like the perfect little image. This is me gonna get obsessive and I just gotta let it be. Oh, here it is. Perfect. This is the one I was looking for. Okay, I did find it. Here it is. Here's Ed, Tom, and Ruben. All right, this is just an image of them that I made. That is just an image. I put the information I want on it. All of this moves together. But now what I want to do is add that countdown, because how cute would the countdown timer look right here in this box, counting down 5 minutes before we go live. So here we go. I'm going to add a text source, just like we did before. But guess what? I already have a test. We have a countdown test that's already running. So I'm just going to re-add it. Now I don't have to do all my work again. And I can come over here and drop this in right there. Now, how cute. And I can do all kinds of things with this. Like I could come in here now and change the font to be something that's a little bit more scripty, right? Or something that looks like chalkboard script or whatever I wanted to do to make it like match the aesthetic. I can change the color. Good question, Sam. First off, their videos will be muted immediately after. Big time streamers, some of them do hold some rights to some music, and there are some ways to use some programs through Streamlabs, which we are not going to have time to jump into today. Streamlabs is a whole other cookie that provides some audio listening, like music that is available for use on Twitch. That may be how some of them are doing it. I will tell you, if you use any music that does not belong to you, your VOD will be muted by Twitch. And if Twitch mods come through and see you using music, they'll just shut you down. My understanding and everything that I have gone through basically says don't use music that doesn't belong to you, period. You can go, like I said, to Streamlabs and check out some of the additional paid options to like subscribe to a music station that is allowed to play through Twitch so that you can use that. My usual suggestion is stick with things that are in the public domain, stick with things that are coming from websites that you're allowed to actually use. From experience, they will mute your videos, and as well, you can't take anything to YouTube that has music into it that doesn't belong to you. So I'll go ahead and tell you, if they're taking all of that over to YouTube, say these gamers or whatever that are listening to this music, those videos are being edited down for that music, and that music's being pulled out from the background because there's no way YouTube would let them have it up and not shut them down immediately. Yeah, so there are some sites that have some music that has been approved by whoever the company is that holds the rights with Twitch to partner, but all of that goes through like a paid application that you can add into the backside of Twitch. One of the things that I have done in the past, and I'll be honest with you, is tell my audience what Spotify playlist I'm listening to and then link them to it. So they can listen to it along with me, but they're not hearing it live on screen. Like we're all listening into it together, but it's not being fed live. If a theater has secured rights to a musical and the recording they have is of the cast the theater hired, would Twitch shut down? No, I would think not. As long as you have rights to it, I would suggest having a disclaimer on the screen that very, very clearly states, like I'm going to do with this purple planet right here, that clearly states that, Dad's Garage Theater has the rights from whatever the publishing house is to re-record or rebroadcast this. This is also something else that all of you need to know. If you are, for example, Dad's Garage is talking about rebroadcasting some old shows from our archive this upcoming weekend. That means we're going live to rebroadcast something. You must make it clear on the screen that it is a rebroadcast and it is not live. You cannot trick people into thinking that an old video that we did way back when is now being broadcast live. It has to be very clear through probably text on the screen that this is a rebroadcast. Like, I actually think I have text pre-prepared for this because I do it sometimes. Do I have a rebroadcast? Maybe not. I used to. I would just put text in a corner that says rebroadcast and then a disclaimer text at the bottom that very clearly states, our company has the rights to rebroadcast or stream this content via whoever the publishing company is. That way, if a moderator drops by and they see that on the screen, they're not immediately going to shut you down. But if you don't have anything there telling them that, they may shut you down, even if it's an accident. Because let's be real, theater coming to Twitch is something that's brand new. So protect yourself and make it clear as to what's going on. Cool. So now we've got this countdown screen. Now here's the fun part. How do we snazzily switch from one thing to another? Or what happens if I'm live and something needs to be changed on screen? Do I want everybody seeing my back end work? No. So OBS, this is the only program that I know that has this option, and this is why I use it above everything else. we're going to go into something called studio mode, right? So first things first, if I hit start streaming, the first thing that's stop streaming. Nope, I just went live for a very brief second. I'm going to hit stop streaming. If I hit this, it immediately goes live. It's going to tell me if my bandwidth is ready to go, how things are going, and it's going to go live straight to my channel. I'm going to hit studio mode, and what you're going to see are two screens pop up next to each other. When I'm live, what's on the right, you can see I can't move or edit any of this. I can click as much as I want. This isn't changing because that's what the audience is seeing. What's on the left, though, that I can change. This is my working space on the left when I'm live. What's right is what's actually live. And then I can hit transition and it will change it nice and clean versus watching me like move this on screen. Yeah. Transition. It goes back. Now, this also means I can do very cool things like say, prep this over here while I'm in a 5-minute countdown. Oh God, I'm stressing. I got this last thing to do. I got to move this around. I got to change this thing. I got to remember to put nameplates for everybody. I can get all this set while I'm live and in countdown. And then when this goes to 0, 0, 0, and we get all the way to our last moment, I can hit transition and it transitions me over. It can transition me back if I need to go to say a break. I could even pick something new. Transition. What if you have a trailer? This is something I did for Dad's Garage. I made a trailer for them. So you know what? I'm going to show you. That'll be the last thing I show you. And then I will show you what the process of like walking through a live stream of what it looks like on my end. So I'm going to add, first thing I'm going to do is add a new one of these, DG trailer. Okie dokies. I'm going to add a new media source. That's all that's going on this one. It's just the DG trailer because it has its own, DG trailer file. Okay. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to browse. I'm going to find it. I'm going to find this one locally. Wrong one. This one is the right one. No, it's not. This one's the right one. Okay. Open. Set it all up. Right. You can loop it if you want. That's a way to like play the same song over and over and over, or the same video over and over and over. All right, and now I do need to come out of studio mode for a second because I need to check that I got this fitted. So see, I need to size it up. I fit it to the screen, right? Okay, now let's go back into studio mode. So we're in a countdown. I go live. I go to studio mode, I go live. What's on the right when I hit start streaming, it will also automatically record things for you. If your computer is struggling streaming, do not record locally. Just turn this off because if you don't, it's trying to record the video, broadcast the video, do a lot of things at once, and it may shut your computer down. I'm live. We're doing the countdown. Music's playing. I'm getting people hyped up in chat beforehand. Everybody go grab your friends. Come over. We got 3 minutes left. Help us this. Go follow us. Share this thing on Twitch. Those are the things you can be doing pre-show. This is what I call pre-show to get people hyped and more audience in, and then you go live. Never go live on the hour. It is my #1 rule. Always go live 6 minutes after the hour. Always 6 minutes after. That's my little rule of thumb, I guess you could say. So here I am. Here we are. Got this set up. Once this goes to 0, 0, I'm transitioning into the trailer. Now they're watching the trailer. That looks spiffy and snazzy. Now they know what's going on. Now they know that Dad's Garage is having this event. And I'm going to let just play through. Yep. We're getting very close to time. This will be the last thing we talk about, and then I'll give some time for questions. Thanks, everybody, if you need to go early. Right? It plays through the trailer. It's going to walk through each scene of it. I'm just going to let it play. And over here, I can be like, oh, I shouldn't actually have that timer there. Let me get rid of that. Yeah, I want to get rid of that. Oh, okay, this all looks good. This looks good. Great, great. My trailer's coming to an end. I give them a place to donate. When this pops up, I'm going to drop a donation link in chat so people know where to go donate as they get the information. Here we go. We're going to the end. And now, without further ado, Dad's Garage Theater presents. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Little Red Dot's channel. I'm live here doing a thing we're raising funds for. I'm going to welcome everybody. I'm going to get everybody hyped. So transitioning allows me to move through scenes seamlessly without the audience or your viewers seeing it. Cool? That is what I can tell you is the visible bare minimum of what you need. You can see I have a lot of these things prepped like overlays and stuff, but that is that is kind of part of it, is like getting more things as you go along. You can just simply say, no, I don't want to do any of that. I just want text on a screen. This can also be a very clean process. And you can do it this way. Oh, you know what? I'm going to show you one more thing, only because I think it will be helpful for people wanting to capture multiple screens. And then I promise we will go, because again, the YouTube video will be available for all. I'm going to cut my webcam. I'm actually going to just delete it off of here. And I'm going to go back over to Zoom and actually capture that. So let's see. Well, I say that. So basically what you would want to do, and you know what, I'll show it a different way, because I can't show Zoom and capture Zoom because it's going to just be like that. But let's say I have Zoom up, everybody's little boxes are there. I'm going to make Zoom widescreen it, whole thing up. Do not minimize Zoom. You have to leave it open in the background. So maximize it to your full screen, for example, like this. Now, let's say I want to capture this website, okay? I want it to show live, or I want to capture everybody's faces on Zoom. I'm going to add a new window capture. For those of you that are going to be doing video play, a gameplay, and you're feeding, say, your Xbox through a capture card, again, a whole other thing. But if you're feeding your video gameplay through a capture card, you're going to need to window capture that capture card. Yeah? So we're going to capture Chrome right here because I've already got it set up, Chrome. All right, there it is. But this one was already set up. I'm going to size this up. And you would do the same thing for Zoom. Right? When everybody's boxes are up, you're going to come in here to the web source that you've chosen, and you're going to tell it the window. You can see all the ones I've got open, right? Here's group chat. If I wanted the Zoom chat to show, there's the Zoom chat for all of us. I could have that show on screen. I could do, I could show Photoshop if you do how-tos. If you draw live on Photoshop, this is how you capture Photoshop on your screen. That's really important. So that would be how, that would basically be how you would capture, right? So there's my Restream dashboard. I'm going to hit OK. I size it up. So if you want to capture Photoshop, if you've got it open, you want to capture a PDF if you've got it open, you want to do anything that's basically not a file, not an image, not songs, not video. If you need to capture a screen on your computer to overlay, the way to do that is, and I can show you this too. I mean, I could do this for hours, guys. Test image countdown. Oh, no, that's not the right one. I'm sorry. Test overlay. Did we call it that? Overlay, Sunday Fun Day. Sunday Fun Day. Test image countdown. Did I not label it? Well, here, I can show you this. So here, for example, is this. You can see Restream poking in behind these videos. See, and like that's actually partially transparent. So you can see, like, I could drop an overlay over top of it and actually capture. Here, I'll show you how to do that. And then, yes, I will answer that last question because that's a really good one, Sam, about growing audience, and it's an important one. So what I can do is size this down and actually fit a Zoom screen into these boxes, in essence. See. So like there's the offline one from the Restream. So I'm just going to size that down and get it to fit inside of this box. See, that offline now fits inside the box. Now I can like crop it down, get rid of all the excess. And now I've cleanly captured that one box behind an overlay. Right? Okay. So, last things would be on Twitch. It is terribly important, as per community guidelines, for you to always have correct information below your stream signifying what you are streaming. It cannot be incorrect. Like, I can't be streaming one video game and say it's something else simply because, like, for example, I can't label it as Fortnite because everybody wants to come watch Fortnite and then not actually be playing Fortnite. That is against community policy on Twitch. I'm going to unhost. Okay. So for example, down here, you see it says Finale Dragon Age. This was Sunday for me. I can edit this to say like, next broadcast is actually tonight. So tonight it's Heim, a North Sea Epilogues RPG session 3. Yeah, there we go. Now, upon your question, Sam, so take some time to talk about experience with building audience. What kind of market do you have done? What other people host you? What kind of networking in the community went through to help you get where you are? Twitch has a built-in audience. It's why it's awesome. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, those are going to be your audiences, your friends, your family, the people you know. Twitch has a dedicated audience of millions and millions of viewers that are here to find other people that they don't know that share similar interests as them, whether it's video gaming, whether it's cooking, whether it's tabletop RPG, whether it's art, those kinds of things, yeah? That is categorized and is under a very easy search engine on Twitch. So for example, if I was just going to do a talk show, like I was just going to do a morning talk show, there's a category, one of the most popular categories is called just chatting. So I'm going to categorize my stream as just chatting. If you're a maker or creator, there is a maker creator, makers and crafting. You have to kind of scroll through. I wonder if there's an art. Art. I think podcasting falls under just chatting. I don't know if there's a live theater. I don't think there is. Yeah, there's not. But acting, I don't think acting's one. Acting is a tag. Category is what you are playing. You're not playing acting. You are showing a live show. So I would have to, you can also search these categories, but it's like, I can scroll through and just kind of see, like live guitar. Somebody's got a live guitar one. Somebody's got a, yeah, scroll through to see what live brings up. Theater doesn't bring anything up, but you can technically, I think you can just leave the category. Like you can make your own category if you don't want a searchable one. Acting is categorized under tags. The other thing you can do, if you have content that once you become an affiliate, you can make certain content only available to your subscribers. So let's say that their Dad's Garage does go live to show a rebroadcast of a show, but we need to make money off of it. And we're not selling tickets right now. So the least I can do is say, hey, you subscribe to our Twitch channel, you gain access to this live show, subscribers only. Okay. Or I can just make it available to everyone if audience number is more what I'm interested in. So you can see I'm a tabletop channel, so I'm always using the tabletop RPG, right? But let's say I'm going live to play Skyrim, a game. There is a Skyrim. I need to pick what Skyrim I'm playing. If I'm going live to play Mario, I need to pick which Mario I'm going live to play. I have to do that. And I think you're right, Kevin. There is a real life. Real life, again, is not a category. It's a tag. So that's the next phase. It's like once I've decided, okay, we're going to do just chatting just because it's easy. And then I need to go in here and I need to label these tags. This category is part of the search engine. Tagging is the algorithm that Twitch uses to connect to people's interest because Twitch is watching what you're watching. So if you come on and all you watch are video game streams, it's going to feed you suggestions of video game streams. But for other people, some people come on to watch just chatting, to watch podcasts, to do kind of things. So some of the tags that I use are voice acting, right? Voice acting is one. Improv is one. I don't think theater is. Theater is. Look at that. Theater. So this up here category is broad. Think big. You can set your own category. You technically can set your own category. So I could say like theater. There is or like, look, there's one called comedy night. Right? I can just set theater as my category and go live with theater. It doesn't have to be one. You could say, I don't even know if there's like a drawing category. Yeah. Oh, it brought my sound back. So we're capturing my sound right now. Fun times. So it is technically playing. So you see it just hosted her manually or automatically. So I would search the category. Categories are big. They're broad. Right? Like tabletop RPG encompasses every tabletop RPG out there. So instead of writing North Sea Epilogues, which is the actual RPG, that's not a category. The only tabletop that has its own category is Dungeons and Dragons. Everybody else is wrapped up under tabletop. And then I can come in And yeah, by all means, if you need to go. I'm going to finish the video closing out talking about this and building audience. You can add all kinds of tags, and tags you cannot make up. You have to search through Twitch's tags because it's tied to their algorithm. But you can like scroll. I mean, there's like building characters, editing. Like if you're editing something in Photoshop, drawing is one. Digital art is one. 3D printing is one. Cosplay is one. I believe that they have a Dragon Con tag. But right? So if you're getting ready for Dragon Con, use a Dragon Con tag. You can only have 5 tags at a time. This is the first and most important way to build an organic audience on Twitch. Just let me say that. As for everything else, I will give you a very brief rundown of how I got where I am. There is no right or wrong because my audience and the way that I built my stuff is going to be very, very different than what some of you are going to be doing. I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and instead, I'm going to share my video. There we go. Can you guys see my video now? And I'm going to drag that back over here. Oops. So I can stare at your faces and not the side of my screen. So know that you are going to need to spend some time. It's not going to happen overnight. It's just not going to happen overnight. And it's taken me 3 years to get where I am. You know, a theater is going to have a little bit more. I have 2 monitors, Christy, that I use regularly, and sometimes I will put in a third if need be. So yeah, building an audience. I started in podcasting. That's kind of how I got my start. I started a Dungeons and Dragons podcast with some of my friends here in Atlanta. I was burned out on theater. I was finding that I lacked a larger level of autonomy in theater here in Atlanta and was not getting paid to act or booked. And I had crossed my T's, dotted my I's, P's and Q's, all the things that I thought I was supposed to be doing. I even had an agent, and I was just unhappy. And I couldn't really figure out why that was. I started my own arts company, like a production company with some friends, ended up leaving that because I was just uninspired. And more importantly, I still felt like I lacked autonomy for myself. So what ended up coming out of that is a chance to build my own thing. So I had 2 friends reach out and say, hey, we're going to start a D&D game. Do you want to play? And we're going to just set some mics up and turn it into a podcast. So what I ended up doing was very quickly doing more of that. The podcast picked up, and I had a friend invite me to their D&D live stream on Twitch for the first time. And I had already had a cosplay Twitch channel that wasn't doing much. It was really motivation to make sure I built my cosplays. I didn't have a lot of viewers. It wasn't really where I wasn't making any money. I was just broadcasting my process. And then I played D&D on a friend's channel on Twitch one time, and I was like, holy crap, this is what I've been missing. There's a level of collaborative storytelling, both in tabletop RPGs, but in general, that I could bring to this, and it's mine. I can be telling the stories I want to tell, playing with people from all over the world without the same overhead, without all of the hurdles that have to be jumped through to produce live theater. And so I started, and I started streaming. I got some friends together. I used Zoom, and I just started broadcasting. And so my monetization comes from multiple places. Not all of it is from my Twitch. So I monetize via Ko-Fi, Patreon, live stream on Twitch, and then I also get hired by other networks to play for them. I do not work for free. I just don't. Not anymore anyways. And so I make my money from various outlets to fund all of this, if that makes sense. And yes, and that being said, it is totally okay to have a channel where you do all kinds of things. You would be known as a variety streamer. There are a lot of variety streamers because a lot of people have multiple talents. Technically, I'm a variety streamer. I just focus my variety around storytelling. So if I'm playing a game, it's an RPG story-based game. Like I'm not playing Fortnite. It's not first-person shooters. Like I'm looking for something with story. If I'm playing tabletop games where I'm telling stories with people. Sometimes I'll do just chatting, and I'll make up a story on the spot for people. Everything I do is based on storytelling because that's my brand. That's who I am. For Dad's Garage, our brand is our improvisers in comedy. So we're going to do a slew of things starting today in a very short amount of time. which I got to go hop on. So just know that as well. In terms of building an audience, it takes time. And you need to figure out where your audience is. I mentioned that earlier. The tabletop audience is not on Facebook. So I don't use Facebook. I use Twitch. Is it all right to have a channel where you do all kinds of things? What do you consider when you think of what is broadcastable material / things your followers want to watch? Here's the thing. It's a misconception. People will watch all kinds of things as long as it is entertaining. As long as it is entertaining. They will. Now, you have to decide what level of success looks like. Is 10 viewers success for you? I'll put this in perspective as well. On Twitch, the top 10% of Twitch streamers on average only have 100 people watching at one time. So that's perspective here, people. 100 people at one time is considered top 10% of streamers on Twitch. The average streamer on Twitch only averages between 3 and 10 viewers at a time. So yes, the front page of Twitch is going to have people with 500, multiple thousands of followers. Those people are in the top 2% of Twitch. Yeah, Bob Ross gets 3,000, but Bob Ross is coming to Twitch with a brand. You're having to build that brand. So how you do that is how you interact with people. It's not about the content. It's not about the content, because if it was, then why do people tune in to just watch people play video games? They tune in to watch a person play video games. They tune in to watch a person's channel where things happen, where when you donate, I sing a song, where they can interact with you. Live streaming is not about a perfect broadcast. If you want a perfect broadcast, go make a video, edit it, and put it on YouTube. Twitch is about a live experience. It's about breaking down a barrier and connecting with your audience, which is something that theater inevitably doesn't do. Sit here, watch this thing. Sure, you can do some interactive theater, but are you really still conversating with your audience? No, you're still asking them to stand there and watch. Twitch bridges that gap from the comfort of people's homes and encourages them to interact with you in new ways. If you're going live and not talking to your audience, you're doing it wrong. That's the one thing I can say is wrong. Talk to your audience. They're there because they want to talk with you. Respond to them. Answer their questions. Put up polls. Play fun games. Just because you're going live and broadcasting, say, a theater play doesn't mean you can't talk to them. That there's not a way to encompass something new. Break your mindset for a little bit around the way that we produce art. And start thinking about it live. Think about new ways to monetize. Think about new ways to bring it to people. I have one friend she's an artist, she makes a killing. She goes live, she draws a thing live for like 2 or 3 hours, and then people bid to buy it on the spot. Sometimes she makes thousands of dollars because people just want to buy the piece of artwork she made live. She could go put it in her store and never sell it. So we have to rethink, break down all the barriers of what you know to be true for fundraising and monetary value, earning monetary value for art, and push it to the side and make something that's uniquely yours, right? Coffee mug with people's names on it, $3 a pop, to the point where I couldn't keep up with drinking the coffee. It was easy. It was something that was mine. It was personal. And I could drink it live on stream. And then it moved to something else, to Patreon. And it expanded out of that so I could build a community. My Patreon pays my players. That is literally what my Patreon does, is it pays people that come to my channel to offer their time. That's another way I've built audience. If you can pay people, you can pay people that have a following. Big names, voiceover actors, video game actors, people that have 10,000 followers on Twitter. I can invite them to my channel because I'm paying them to come be here, and then their followers come to me. Another way that I bridge that gap. Any last minute questions before we go? Because I have Dad's Garage texting me actively and we're supposed to go live soon. Anybody? Well, I hope you all found this beneficial. I know it was a lot of information. So like I said, this whole thing today is going to be put onto a YouTube video, and you'll be able to access it. I will follow up with all of you probably tomorrow, maybe Thursday, with the list of like my technology, links to very cheap startup stuff, links to all the programs we talked about, and those kind of things. I am a Windows user, not a Mac user, so there is always a contingency you may have to find something else, but it's not like it doesn't exist. It does, and most everything functions the same. So please, don't let all of this scare you. If what you need to start with is simply a video to social media, that's where you need to start. And getting content out is more important than having it look good to begin with. And it's okay to be like, hey, want to make my stream look better? Make sure to donate so that I can invest in this. I can get this. Remember, find opportunity in chaos. Right now, it is a hard time on the arts. And as somebody that has been deeply embedded in the Atlanta arts since I moved here 8 years ago, almost 9 years ago now, my heart hurts for all of you, for my company included. So it is a perfect time to come to the table and to find opportunity in this chaos and to potentially push your business into a new place that you never knew was even possible. That's exactly how it happened for me. I will make myself available for all of you. You can always hit me up on Facebook. The event itself was hosted on my personal business page, so you can always message me there as well. I will be happy to try to answer any additional questions that I can personally. If you're watching this on YouTube, maybe drop a comment below. That way everybody can see your question and I can answer that comment back directly there. You all know how to get me. And if you want to see more of what I do, make sure to follow my Twitch channel. I mean, you can see a little bit more of what I do and how I do it. And actually, I go live this evening at 7 o'clock. So you can actually catch me at 7 o'clock live tonight. And you can catch Dad's Garage in literally the next 30 minutes live over on their channel and see more of how I manage their production. I think that is it. I hope you all have a great afternoon, and we're going to call this meeting adjourned. Good luck, everybody.